and happy Freedom Friday. It is again, thank God it's Friday. Friday, October 28th, and we are back with our normal panel. This is kind of the guys it seems like it's always is here with me, but we'll just go through them here. Sovereign, how are you, sir?
I'm doing just finer and frog hair split three ways.
Oh, that's pretty good right there. You can hardly top that. What about now? Before you know what, let's go on. Uncle Arty, how are you?
I had my finger on the button the whole time.
You were just sitting there waiting, wasn't you?
Let's see. I got my channel deleted because
Well, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. I want that's a topic we're going to discuss. So just
Okay.
hang on to that. Hang on to that for a minute.
Other than that, I'm fucking wild as hell. Nothing new.
And we got Terry, Ironton Auditor. Terry, how are you?
I'm good for nothing, but guaranteed good for it. Got Eugene with me tonight. We're out auditing. We stopped our live to make sure we could be here on your show, and then when we're done on the time, we might get back at it. So,
all right. Well, I'm glad to have you guys here.
Hey, we're glad to be.
But we're just gonna kind of hang out a little bit and talk all things America and freedom and everything. You know, all that red, white, and blue liberty shit. You know, that's pretty awesome.
Shit, do you like freedom and stuff? You don't believe none of that, do you?
But let me tell you something. When I wake up in the morning, I have a bald eagle that literally flies out of my bedroom with an AR-15 up its ass, and it's literally shooting communism.
Dude. Right on.
Hey,
right on. You know what? Now that's a misconception. People call it the Great American Bald Eagle. If you look, there's feathers on top of that bird's head. That's not what they're talking about. It's a great bald eagle. You know what I'm saying? You got a big balls.
Blessed is he.
He is. He is.
It
makes flying a little difficult, but you know, hey.
I've got to come to your house early one morning and wake you up because I want to see that shit happen. I want to get that on camera.
Well, now there's only a couple stipulations about that, Terry. First and foremost, you have to have the flag draped over you or you won't make an appearance because he gets offended. And secondly, you have to literally come in like humming the theme of some Chuck Norris song. I don't know what that's all about, but it just seems like it's a normal thing. So just be prepared for that. That's all I'm saying.
Just one badass eagle, ain't he?
He's pretty damn badass. Yeah, he is. He screams America.
Play that song from Team America. America, fuck yeah, gonna save the motherfucking world.
Oh, no kidding.
Love that show.
All right, let's see who we got in the chat. I know Terry's actually out of his element tonight. He's not going to be able to help me much in the chat. So we'll go through it and see who all we got here. It looks like we've got, there's not very many of them that's actually popping in there yet.
Rachel Roseanne, hi babies, what you doing?
Roseanne, how are you? Oh yeah, and that's another thing too. Before I lose focus on what's going on, I'm going to try. Now I'm not going to tell you guys what not to talk about, but I'm going to try not to say the C word tonight. I've actually told myself that I'm going to try to stay away from his poor little butt. So before we go into it too much, you guys talk about whatever you want to, but I'm gonna kind of refrain. Are you trying to get Mrs. Legicator's off here to the side, and she's like looking over my shoulder, and I can't tell if she's trying to get in the frame or not. Oh, she's trying to handle the chat, but doing it from a distance. So, but
sorry, I can't even see the chat tonight. It won't let me do it. I have to flip screens and cover what I'm looking at up, so I can't see anything. If I'm getting no chat anyway, I've got no messages in it. What I can see, so I can't be in the chat tonight, guys. Sorry.
Well, I'm sure everybody will forgive you since you're out being one of those auditors. How dare you? Well, anyway, to everybody in the chat, hello. Appreciate you guys hanging out. You know, on Friday, it's kind of we in the past we've done a little bit of everything on Friday. We've done some trivia and we've done had a little bit of a history lesson. And Tom was supposed to have been with us tonight, but he's had some technical difficulties. He said so he's not able to hang out. So we'll just kind of go some different routes with it, and just kind of have fun with it. So, but I want to start off because my intentions was to kind of give Arty the floor for a minute so Arty can explain. For those of you who are not aware or familiar, Uncle Arty, is it safe to say, Arty, that you had that you lost your channel? Somebody took it from you, or how like, what, did you lose it in a lawsuit or something? I don't know.
It involves the C word, man.
Well, you can say it. I just said I won't.
All right. Well, Uncle Arty's always pushing the envelope of stupidity and trying to piss people off. So I think I successfully accomplished that. And,
I think you finally did.
But it came back and bit me in the ass. So what did I do? All right, I want to go live here, and thinking, yeah, Mama Cholita is going to run the show and all that. People are wanting to talk to her and all that. So I posted a picture of baby Cholita with the, it's literally a picture of Cholita, then a dildo that's stuck in the mouth with it ripped open. I mean, the mouth is ripped open. Well, Facebook did, not Facebook, but YouTube didn't like that. So they went ahead and said, oh, copy strike. Nope, you can't post for a week. What? AI nailed my ass. So being the person that I'm being, like, you know what? Let's see if we can pull that shit off and get even more stupid. I appealed it. Well, a human looked at it and like, oh, hell no. A dildo? Hell no. We ain't going to play none of that. So they deleted my channel.
Oh, so that's what you know. What the old term? You know what the old term already says? F around and find out.
So Mama Cholita, I think either that or Mama Cholita has been trolling me the whole time, and she got my channel deleted because of revenge for her son. So
Well,
I'm not sure which one, but either way, I let stupid get out of control and lost my channel. But you know what? I've had a backup channel. I've actually had 3, but I had a backup channel since 2018 or something like that, and sure enough, I'm back.
I got you. Any of the mods that can put the link to his new channel would be great.
I appreciate it, but you don't have to actually. No, don't subscribe, you fuckers. That's part of it. Again. No.
Here we go again.
Piss off.
With Arty. Arty's doing his thing.
Hell yeah, I wouldn't be. That's right, Life Giant. If it wasn't me, I wouldn't. I mean, if I changed, I wouldn't be different. Yeah. What? We got it.
No, she's my wife's hearing things. She's losing her mind again.
No, I'm sorry, baby. I'm happily married. I'm not going to let you have my dog. She's right here with me. So that answers all the questions to all you women.
Yeah, this is not even the sequel to you losing your mind. I can't see you because I got this screen, like I can't see it. Okay, so Uncle Arty is basically has to beg to come back, and hoping that somebody with a bigger channel like DL would help him, probably. But
about it. You want to, you can. If not, fuck off. Either way, fuck off. Yeah.
But here's my question: is
don't be Uncle Arty.
I'm kind of wondering if Mama didn't get you taken down because how poorly you pay her down there at the bar and grill. I know you guys.
What's that?
It's really bad.
Hey, just because we recycle the booze straight out of the bathroom.
Huh.
Hey, it lowers your carbon footprint. You ought to be proud. You're saving the world. You're getting charged triple for it.
Yeah. See? So yeah, if we can get the link to his, I don't know if he may put it in there yet or not, but if we can get the link and put it in the chat, that would be awesome.
Don't do it. Shut up. Don't listen to him.
Well, the reason being is, honestly, I just see, when they watch you, Arty, they think that I'm really smart. So they can watch Arty and they'll be like, holy shit, that guy's dumb. And then they come over to my channel like, man, friggin' Leducator's a genius after I just watched Arty.
Shut up. Thanks for the compliment.
Oh, you know.
In all honesty, I know I shouldn't have done it. The thing is that I have to let the character Uncle Arty just run with it. I mean, it's like why actually be serious and actually try to put forth the effort when you're going to, I mean, live the fucking part. I mean, do what, if you're going to do it, go all out. Fuck it. You
Don't
know,
they claim that happens to a lot of Hollywood actors and stuff? Like they get too deep in a character and like actually get lost in it or something. Maybe that's what happened. You're just such a good actor, Arty.
You don't think Arty's going to permanently become Mama Cholito, do you?
I'm not so sure he's not already there.
A couple more mojitos than I might. No, I got my wife to pull me out of that shit if I ever get any ideas.
Oh, I'm sure.
Thank you, honey.
I'm sure.
Hey, baby, come here. They want to know what you're going to do if I try to become Mama Cholita permanently. Come here, tell them.
Oh my God.
If you don't, I'll come in there. Here she comes. Don't worry, there's another wife in here. Mr. Educator's here too. The question was raised, what are you going to do if I decide to become Mrs. Cholita or Mama Cholita permanently?
Arty, you're not serious.
Well, what if I am?
Yes, he is.
See, he's instigating. Yeah, the maroon in the upper left, that's the educator. That's Chad. He's the one that's instigating.
That's me.
You are not going to be Cholita's mom.
Why
Thank you, Arty, please don't let me.
Dogs need to go out. I'll be back.
All right, fine, bye, baby.
So, Sovereign, what's been going on in the world of Sovereign this week, man?
Well,
So,
not a whole lot. I'm
I gotta
telling
tell you
you.
guys, I started to interrupt. What you guys did on that troll was fucking epic, dude. That's like beyond anything I could do. Epic, dude. Epic.
Yeah, it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I'd kind of tossed the idea around, and a guy lives next door to me. He's a sheriff's deputy, and I was thinking, that dickhead will gloat. He'll put his moon pie face right up in the camera and gloat if he thinks something bad has happened to Terry.
100%.
And so it took very little resources to do. I said, "Hey, Kevin, would you mind fake arresting Terry?" He goes, and I told him what for. He goes, "No, shit, no." So he backed his car up, cut the lights on. I did like a 26-second video, and said my battery was dying, just enough to get it out there. Like, oh God, there's some urgent shit. Followed it up with a couple other real short ones saying, "Hey, I'm going down to the jail. Don't anybody do anything, And boy, he bought that hook, line, and sinker. Well, I told Terry and my wife, I said, he'll go on within an hour of that coming out.
He did, didn't he?
He did 40 minutes. 40 minutes. And I said, "Now bet you, Terry," I said, "I'll bet you $1 that he will title it Back the Blue Till It Happens to You." Well, he did even better than that. That was the first comment on the video that I put out. And then he went live with a video called that. And I'm like, right off the bat. So then me and Terry went live and exposed that we'd pulled the wool on him. So dude, I just got done editing a video showing, because today he was on there e-begging to get, I forget what the guy's name is. He's in Nye County Jail or something, an auditor. And he was grifting to get like $2,000 to get him out. And I swear to God, this dude actually broke into tears on camera, or at least pretended to. And I've clipped that out. I just getting ready to upload it right now. I was waiting for everything to get the checks done and everything like that. And on What a Hypocrite, because it shows how he acted with Terry's arrest and how he acted about this guy. And it's like different as night and day.
Oh, did you include the bit where he actually freaked the fuck out when yelling at that guy on the phone while driving and filming himself?
Oh no, I'm saving that clip for another one. It's Chili's greatest freakouts. Yeah, he did that. David Condon guy. He goes, "Pull over to the side of the road right now and send $20 and shit." And I'd be like, "Dude, stick it up your ass. I ain't sending you shit. In fact, I'm going to come find you and beat your ass." I mean, it's like, come on.
Wow. You know what? Robert, I'm pretty sure he shed a few tears right after he deleted that video. He was so happy to put up about me. I guarantee you, he sat down in the corner and cried for a good bit. I promise.
Oh yeah, that was a dopamine crash right there. That was like the ketamine K-hole for him right there, because you know that when he got that news, he was over in the corner beating that thing like it owed him money, and then turn around and come on the thing all happy, moon pied and shit, and then right in the middle of it, and Demon emailed him while we was doing our telling that it was a troll. Classic. And yeah, so he found out real quick after he got off that live.
Austin, what's up, buddy?
And then deleted it. So we were lucky enough that somebody downloaded that and I was able to use that footage. So
hello, Austin. Good to see you out there.
Who's that? Austin Murphy?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was probably and here's the thing is, dude, I was getting blown up while you were doing that, Sovereign.
I bet.
Like people emailing me and sending me messages on like different social media and stuff. I'm like, what happened to Terry? Do you know what happened to Terry? And I'm like, guys, I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. There was so few people knew anything about that. And then I was like, okay, so as soon as I made that first video, I put it up and then I like let it out on back channels that I knew would like tell people, you know, oh my God, Terry's been arrested. And it worked like a charm. It worked like a charm. I was a little worried that he wouldn't go on, because if he didn't, after a while, I was going to come on and say, look, we were just trying to troll Chili, or at very least say, yeah, we got him out, you know. But I knew that he couldn't not go. I knew that he couldn't not, because of the way his ego is. I was like,
oh man.
I was working I was Bugs Bunny working Daffy Duck like a fiddle, man.
Well, you see what Michael Lutz put on there? He's like, I was pissed at you, Chad, because I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's great. That was great, man. And here's the thing too, is like, even besides the C word, like that was just a good gag. Like that was just a good YouTube gag. You know what I mean? Like, because Terry's got a big enough following to where that it matters. You know what I mean? Like, and when Terry gets arrested, it's like everybody's going, "Oh no, what happened to Terry? Because Terry's such a nice guy. How did he get arrested?" And it's like, and I want so bad. I wanted to kind of play into it, but then I thought people would like believe me, and then they would like start thinking that really I'm like that pig tyrant. And I was gonna be like, yeah, you know what? Fuck him. You know what
the most amazing part of that night for me personally was, I mean, the most amazing part for Sovereign obviously was because everything went off according to plan. He looked like George Hard saying, I love it when a good plan comes together. But for me, the most heartwarming part of that whole night was to see how many people that follow me started pulling money out of bank accounts, started getting their car keys ready. They were ready to head to Virginia and bring any it took to get me out of that jail. And man, I couldn't thank them enough. You talk about that was something right there. It hit me hard.
Yeah, it definitely and I had one of those moments actually, Terry, when you were actually calling it out on my stream one time, because it was just when I was really, really new at this, and I was like probably first, second, maybe stream I ever done, and you'd challenged the chat to say something about me or something, and then like it was just like it just kind of hit me like, wow, like I can't believe I have, like, it was so humbling to know that I had that much support. Like I'm nobody, like, I mean, and just the like, I don't know, I know that feeling. So I guess what I'm trying to get at, like that.
Well,
wow.
Remember, we used to be nobodies, but now you are the legislator and I am Ironton auditor. As Terry and Chad, we're just a couple of hillbilly nobodies. But as our channel names, man, there are people that actually give a shit. They really do care. It is a humbling and wonderful experience.
Don't be making fun of hillbillies now. Half my family is.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. According to Beth, I guess I am a pig tyrant.
Don't get me wrong. One thing I got to admit is that I didn't know anything about it till Irish Demon had picked it up, and he ended up carrying you guys. And I mean, that thing blew up big time all over the place. I mean, that was like the biggest news past the cease and desist bullshit that's going on right now.
Oh wow. Yeah, I know. I'm freezing up here and there because my internet still sucks, guys, and I apologize. It's the same crap.
Hey, maybe you ought to contact Delete Laws and see if he'll do a fundraiser to get you better internet.
Good idea. Good idea. Maybe we could just put like what's that? What's he? Is it not Cash App? What's he use?
He uses Cash.
Is it Cash App? Okay,
He
maybe it
uses
is.
all of them. Yeah, I think so. Who does this?
I'm not saying it. See, you tried to get me right there, Sovereign. I knew what you done. Bud. I'm too quick for
No,
you.
man. He uses he uses Cash App, Vimeo, and
Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal.
and PayPal. Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, but maybe he would feel sorry for me.
He might.
And yes, Lisa, I know my background's eating my head. Watch this.
He sure as hell didn't feel sorry for me, did he?
No, he did not. You're gonna find that out.
He looks like he's about to bust a nut on there.
I know that's what was so great to be on there while he was live. So elated and happy.
Hey, Dave, how are you, sir?
That I was in jail. It was so fun to be live, streaming his live and flipping him both middle fingers just to say it.
I was watching. I think I was messaging Sovereign. I don't know if I was texting you or texting Sovereign when you guys were live. And like I was watching the stream, but I was on my phone texting, and it was so funny to see Terry's there going, fuck you. I was like,
that's what he gets for coming here, stirring up a bunch of shit in my hometown, and then he quote unquote left me here to deal with it in his own words, and then I come in and deal with it, and then he wants to tell me that I'm not doing the right thing. I just wanted him to actually hear me say, fuck you, Chili. I'm doing a phenomenal job. I am that's all caps, THE, the auditor.
just like the Ohio State University.
Oh God, like when he called himself one of the top 5 frauditors in America easily without even thinking about it or something like that. Man, I made a daily affirmation about it. What a fucking joke. When the entire First Amendment auditor community and I'm like hates the guy. Come on.
Well, he loves them all until they get to know him. I mean, how many names can you count? Ironton Auditor, James Freeman, Lackluster, O'Dale. I mean, how many people has Chili touted to be the best at what they do, and then when he finds out they don't like him, they're the worst people ever. He's going to sue them now.
Yeah, I was going to say he's gone after the ones that really suck and said, "Oh yeah, you're the greatest. Look at News Now Omaha, the one that tries to go and get himself shot and killed because he's black."
Yeah, that guy's not all there, is he?
No.
Yeah, I think I watched one. I've done like a breakdown video on another channel or something on that guy one
But
time. He's out there.
I'll go as far as to say this: he let Deborah rot in that jail because of his own actions. But when he saw that video of the guy that got arrested and he got freed today on bail, I'm telling you, he jumped at that opportunity to make himself look like the big hero. It's the only reason why that fucker did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got to remain relevant.
Oh no, I say, well, I know, I've tried. Listen, short of literally getting a gasoline engine and starting it up and like trying to prime it or something, it's just something wrong. But Peter, how are you? Good morning. What time is it there, Peter? I just seen that. I know that it's so crazy because I'm so used to people thinking like what time it is, and I'm like, well, here it's like late at night.
Isn't it? We get to talk to people all over the world at all different times, no matter where they're at.
Man, I'm so blessed to make the friendships that I have through YouTube. It's amazing.
So I'm putting that video up now. It's going up. It's going through the checking process right now.
Once you get it put up, share your screen up there, and I'll put it up.
All right. It's going to be a little bit.
Yeah, I know how that goes. And I think sometimes too. Oh man, I keep like getting my on my videos. It's not demonetizing it, but like it gets the yellow. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, limited.
I guess they don't like my content.
Well, it's like limited, you know. It all depends on who you are too. I mean, I'm seeing channels get away with shit and they're making bank, you know, and then the smaller channels go and say the same thing and they're, oh, you get a strike or you're gonna get a, you know, and I'm like, what the hell? How do you get in that club?
Oh,
You know,
I've got a strike. I've already got one.
It goes away after 30 days.
I got a copyright. When the video that I'd done working out in the garage gym with my son, music. And I had that, and he had his music playing behind it. I literally uploaded it, and just a few minutes later, boom! It's like, yeah, you ain't getting paid for that one. I'm thinking, I ain't getting paid for any of them.
Right.
That was just a copy warning or something like that. It's not a strike. You get a strike, you can't broadcast for a week.
Well, I didn't get the actual strike. It just basically told me that my monetization would be given to the original copyright holder.
Yeah, just for that video.
Right. Which I hate to tell them, but I made 6 cents, literally a nickel plus a penny.
Damn.
Pretty impressive, huh?
Well, I'll tell you what, I done pretty good the other night, though. I was like, I'm finally able to get super chats, and I got like $80.
Oh, wow.
I was like, holy shit, you know,
yeah.
It was just over the course of the night. And I was like, that's pretty cool, you know, because I don't even really ask for it. In fact, you know, if you go all the way back, my first video was because I was pissed off about that dickhead sending me that gay porn and stuff on my phone. And I was like, that is not a scholar acting like that. Right. And in fact, I had somebody comment on that video today and they said, oh, you disparage the LGBT community and all this other. And I says, well, no, I didn't. I said, I'm an equal opportunity offender. I says, don't just hang in there. I make fun of everybody. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm an equal opportunity shit talker.
That's right. That's right. I don't single anybody out, and I'll make fun of myself just half the damn time anyways. But so they got on, well, we've had to deal with this for thousands of years and everything. And I said, well, you should be used to it by now. And your skin be a little thicker if you've been dealing with this for thousands of years. You know, it seems to me it'd be roll off like water off a duck's back, right? So yeah. I says to him, I says, look, I'm looking at you as disparaging the straight community and my straight pride. Are you being bigoted toward my straight pride? Am I going to have to report you for that? I mean, come on, it's got to go both ways, right?
I would think so. I would think that's freedom.
Well, no, that's Marxism, what he's got. You're free to say shit as long as I like it. That sounds like somebody else. Free to speak as long as you say what I want to hear.
I was going to go there, but I didn't. I refrained myself. Oh, my gosh. Hey, Justin. What's up, Playboy? Playboy. Oh, yeah. Good times. Good times. Even though I just quoted something that I know somebody else did, I still didn't say it. Good for me. Oh, my goodness. Lord have mercy. Well, you know, let me tell you. So this has been a different kind of week for us. We had, well, the other day, my son, I get a call from my wife when I'm at work, and she says, I'm taking Bray to the hospital because he cut his knee. So, oh, okay. And you know what's going through my mind right there? Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, he cut his knee, like, get a couple stitches, whatever, you know, it's not the end of the world, right? So I kind of just, went back to work, done my thing. And that was the day that we had the actual big event there in the city, where, somebody was actually murdered. So it kind of took a really, really bad day. But because of that, obviously I was extremely busy and extremely occupied and stuff going on. So, and then, as time gets closer for me to go home, she says, well, they're keeping him because he cut his knee. And she said, yeah, they're admitting him. And she says, They got to do surgery in the morning. And at the same time, she sent me a picture. And let me tell you, it was like he almost cut his leg off.
Damn.
Like legit, like crazy. Like, and I'm going, holy shit. Like, that's not what I thought. So, the past few days, we've kind of been dealing with that. She's been down there staying at the hospital with Bray, and they just got back today. So wow, it's been hectic and crazy and everything. And then of course work's been hectic because obviously you guys know I had to go in early, got called in the other day because of that incident. And different things going on, and it just gets crazy hectic. So it actually feels good to be on here tonight and just hanging out kind of stress free, because it's certainly been really stressful the past few days, that's for sure.
Stress free, you got me up here. What are you talking about?
Once again, Arty, see, it's easy for me to look like an intellectual giant, because like as long as my competition is Arty.
I'm in competition, dude. You're nowhere near my league, buddy.
Oh, I didn't know. Sorry, buddy.
I'll give you a shovel. You ever want to come down here, boy? I'll whoop your ass.
Every time I come down there, you put me to work at the bar and grill.
Need somebody to clean up the spooge.
I thought that's what Mama was for.
Well, you show her how to do the job done right.
That's true.
See, what I pay you is what she's supposed to get paid.
Well,
Anyways, no, but seriously, how's the prognosis on the son, though? Is it going
let me tell you, this is where it kind of went crazy. Because I don't know anything about that stuff. But they did not sew him up. They actually left it open and put what's it called, honey? A womb vac on his joint, and they've left his womb open, and they got like a brace on his leg, and like he's gonna have to leave it open for a couple of weeks.
Now, how did this happen?
Get this. Yeah, basically he was playing football, and they kind of go over where the driveway is, and it's or on the other side there, and it's rough over there, and he slides on his legs. And I guess there was a rock or something underneath the ground that he didn't know was there, and it sliced him like a.
I'm glad he didn't bleed. It could have been worse.
Oh yeah. Well, it's crazy too is I mean, of course he's tough as nails. Like, I mean, he was like, when I got there from the hospital, I got to the hospital after I got off work, I got up there and I walk in, he's like, "Oh, hey." And I was like, "Hey buddy, are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm okay."
So the doctors were sitting there because he sat there in the hallway. They got him straight in, and
You have to come over here, honey, so they can hear you better.
well, they got him straight back because he was trauma, so he was priority. And then we got him back there. They didn't clean him, they didn't clean him or give him anything yet. But the doctors were walking in, the nurses or whatever, just like their whole team to see what they had to handle. And they were like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And he was like, "Oh, I fell playing football." And they were like, "So you mean to tell me you didn't get bit by a shark?"
Yeah.
Because that's what it looks like. And I'd be freaking out. But he was nonchalant, like, "Yeah, I bust my knee, but I'll play about football."
Yeah, it was bad. Like bad.
I got something coming for him on Sunday. Pair of earbuds for him and all that. So he can listen to some music or watch his dad online or whatever.
Oh well.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, he's gonna want to be watching me. I mean, somebody saying hello, Mrs.
Get some
Legicator.
prayers and all that stuff out to
Irish Demon's ugly sister says hello. Oh, that's great.
So, did you see my new toy, Legicator?
Which one?
This one.
Yeah, that little SP-101.
Yeah, boy, is this ever nice. It's a double action, 5-shot revolver, spurless hammer. And I was a little bit reluctant about that because a lot of times I like to cock the hammer back, get that real light trigger pull, but this one ain't bad.
I'll tell you what, man, when it comes to the revolvers, I love the Rugers. I really do.
Of course, the beautiful Fiocchi ammunition to go in it.
Yeah, that's the big flamethrower there, bud.
Yeah, boy.
When you got the full magnum loads in that guy. Have you shot it with the magnum loads in it yet?
I have not had a chance to shoot this yet. So
It'll
I'm going to
wake
take
you
it
up.
out and do a video and shoot it. Yeah, I'll go up there by the furnace where me and Terry was at that day. Go up there and
Okay.
squeeze off a few rounds, see what I can get on video.
Well, that I had a J-frame a few years back that was chambered in the Magnum, and oh my god, like I mean it's fun, but only a handful of rounds, and you're like, I've had enough of that because it hurts right there in the palm of your hand, and in the web of your hand.
Yeah,
and it's like,
well,
yeah, I've had
now
enough.
that's that full size Smith and Wesson I've got, that 357. You can shoot that thing all day and won't bother you none.
So I've got I've got that Security 6, which is kind of like it's like a K frame size Ruger. And it's the same way. It's got those Packmeyer grips on it, and I'm telling you, it's absolutely awesome for what it is, and be able to shoot it like that. Absolutely awesome. Edwin says, Jack Ruby revolver, only bigger.
Right? Jack Rubenstein. You know, interestingly enough, my mother and father's first date was the evening of Ruby shooting Oswald.
Wow.
So they was like, oh, they gave him something to talk about, didn't it?
Yeah, there was.
Damn, I got 44 views on that. It just went up. I got 44 views on that already. Let me see.
Hey, Chad, let's get some prayers to your son's healing and all that stuff. I put a link up in the chat. It's free. They can ask for donations, but they're nonprofit. But anyways, what they'll do is that you write that prayer out and click send. They'll actually write it on a note, put it into the Western Wall or the Wailing Wall, as you know it, in Jerusalem. It's awesome as hell.
Really?
Yeah. I've done that for a lot of people over the years and all that. And hey, you know, let's get some healing prayers up there. You know, you can't get your prayers more direct to God than into the Western Wall. Come on now.
That's right. Absolutely.
Like Pope himself, you know, giving the, you know, steroids on a prayer. There you go. Let's get some up there for him.
That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. That I just seen something here. I was getting ready to pull up to. Somebody said something.
But that's a sweet gun. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
There it is. Scott says, "Don't leave your gun in your self-driving van." Oh my gosh!
Gun, a self-shooting gun, and in a self-driving van could be bad news. You'd have self-done drive-bys.
Yeah, that's not good. If your van literally drives itself and goes and shoots at nobody by itself.
Well, maybe it'll go to the car lot and attack other vans.
I was going to say, if that's what happens, if the van's going to do a drive-by, would it actually just go to a car lot or parking lot and shoot at other vehicles?
I don't know. Do you suppose all those vehicles might be of one color or the other?
I don't know.
I don't either. I'm not sure what it's like to be a van.
Nah.
One I always worried about was wondered about was that Amish Mafia. All I saw was they had a TV show called that. And the first thing my mind went to, I was like, what are they going to do? Have a drive-by shunning? You know, like, we're going to go right by Johnson's house. Okay, here it comes. Everybody turn the other way. And they shun him as they go by and shit. Oh no.
Pat, I had a 686, the stainless.
That's what I got.
Yeah. He had the 586 here, so I had the 686. Hey, Conspiracy Music, what's going on?
Hey, there's our guy.
Hello out there, Clay. It's good to see you, sir.
Chuck says, did you guys see that the C word got AZ Jeep girl's dog rescue job terminated? What?
How is that possible?
Well,
yeah, he found out who she was and had his little minions basically do what they do, and you know,
are you serious?
Trouble, yeah.
So what
she says something to him on his chats. Ooh.
What you're telling me is Chili has a group of people that he commands, like he accuses Kate of having. Is that correct?
Exactly.
I thought that's what it sounded like.
I just seen the K-Far's in here. Hey, K-Far. K-Far, I can put a link out if you want to come up.
Hello, K-Far. How you doing tonight?
Up there, K-Far.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy. What a douche. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. See, I just about went off on a tangent and started talking, but I'm not going to.
Who's
You know you want
who is the douche?
I'm not going to do it.
What's another word for cold and freezing and when you're not warm, you're shivering? I mean, what do you feel? It's something E ends with
depressed.
Not when you're
I usually am in the winter.
It's also
I'm cold and freezing. Turn the heat up and you go, I'm shit. I don't know what the word is.
Me either.
It's
sorry. Can't help you.
A stew or a soup with beans, spices, and meat.
Yeah, they make it really spicy down here in Texas. You know you want some.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
You do know what that's called, don't you, Chad?
I think I do, yeah. Although it is a different spelling.
How do you spell it? How do you spell it?
I don't know. I think that would be crossing the line too.
Oh, come on. We know your education is better than that. If I could say it, if I could spell the one Chilli, you can spell the other one. Come on.
Here's my thing. Is I've been doing a lot of thinking about this. And I will say, I'll go ahead and go off on this a little bit because I think this is worthy of saying.
We broke him.
I think, yeah. Thanks a lot, Arty. Dick.
Anytime.
No, I think this needs to be said. I really do. I think that the reason he stays relevant is because we react. I really
can't figure out how he's even surviving at all. I've got a little app on my phone where I can actually see what the ratio of like to dislike is, and it shows how many thumbs down. Man, his dislikes way outweigh his likes. He's running at about 38% average.
Well, I'll tell you this. Last week, he actually, when he targeted me on one and acted like a jerk, and I commented on it because I kind of did get upset. And I commented on it, and I actually had more likes on my comment on his page than he had total likes on his video. That just shows. Edwin says he's subbed to my other channel. Yeah, that's going to be the channel that I'm probably going to have the most fun with because I'll never get monetized on that one. That's completely all going to be about guns and training and stuff. So, you'll see once I get it going a little bit more, you'll see what my idea is behind it and how much I really want to get into this. But, when I started the Leducator channel originally, way before this whole fiasco, it was going to be all about Pro 2A and citizens training type stuff and different like recommendations and stuff, and kind of more content based on freedom 2A, yada yada yada, whatever. And then when the moron comes along, see, I still held back. But when the moron come along, and I didn't know how. What is it?
Who's the moron?
I don't know. I can't remember his name. He's that one that's like cold weather.
I don't know what cold weather is. I mean, I live in Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but aren't you from the Midwest?
I'm over 50, so now I don't remember that far back. At least not in this century. I haven't lived there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, so when I started that and all that happened, I kind of lost focus, and then I think I've got like 1,800 subs on this, which it's a lot for me. I mean, I didn't expect to have any really.
Yeah, you started. You're like around 60 something, and then just.
Oh no, my page.
Yeah,
my Leducator page had five.
Oh no, when I first knew of you and all that, we started talking.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that it's not about he was the catalyst, but the thing is that it's you that has made your channel grow. You're you.
Well, I appreciate it.
He was the match that lit it, but you know what? It's you that has made your channel. Just fucking admit it.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, to me, I like hanging out with all you guys and stuff, and
Let me say something, Captain. I do happen to know. If you don't know, I'll tell you right now. People get on this channel to watch you, sir. They get on the channel to hear you. That's why they're here.
Well, I appreciate that. I really do. And you guys know, and I mean, I've been very open about, how much, all you guys mean to me and all my subs and just been able to, and I mean, and I guarantee for everybody in the chat, I guarantee everybody on this panel will agree with me. Every single time that we post content on our channels and we see comments from people and we see people that are starting interacting with it becomes personal, like, and it becomes to the point where it's like, and I don't know what your guys' faces look like, but to me, I know their screen names and it becomes like a first name basis to me. You know what I mean? And K4 literally just said the same thing. It's awesome, man, because you guys become like friends, like I see every day. You know what I mean? And I'm almost like I'll post content. I'm like, man, I got everybody saying hi or whatever, good job. It's just like, it's so good to interact with all you guys, and you guys are
had a guy come from almost halfway across the world to come see you and see you beat the shit out of somebody that he didn't show, but still, he came out here to see you. Come on. That tells you something.
Well, and I mean, that probably didn't hurt either, that the fact that we were doing something pretty awesome for an awesome charity. So, and we were able to do pretty good for St. Jude's, and that was really, really awesome. So, and I'm just blessed. I'm beyond blessed. I mean, not only to make the YouTube channel, because I mean, it's fun, and it's awesome or whatever. Let me just say what I miss.
Irish Demon's ugly sister name. Is that the real Irish Demon?
You will never see my face. That bad, huh?
How do we know that's not Irish Demon having a civil moment? He might have two personalities that we don't know about. Well, it rubs the Lucky Charms on its skin.
Now, doesn't that mean, now correct me if I'm wrong, but if he is actually royalty, wouldn't that mean that his sister's royalty as well?
Mm-hmm. But which one's a royal pain in the ass?
She probably looks a lot like Irish, but hey,
Hopefully the beard and mustache aren't quite as thick.
Well,
K-Far just sent me a message. He said that you don't give him a wrench, he's going to cry.
He doesn't have a wrench?
I don't know. I'm just teasing you.
Well, I didn't really know that he didn't. So hang on. I'm going over. I got to go over to YouTube to do it. Let's see here.
I'll tell you what's funny is I hold a wrench in so many places, and almost every place that I hold one is either a law enforcement channel or an auditor hating channel. And I hold wrenches in all of those. What are the odds?
Yeah, it's okay. I've been going around giving people a hard time about getting mine back. I was like, hey, let's get K-Far one.
All right, so I think I'm good here. I can go share screen. Is everybody still there?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
hey, I was checking. Elon Musk's got a satellite things called Starlink. It's not quite on the east. Well, like the eastern half of the U.S. isn't covered quite yet, but eventually it will. Basically, it's like 110 a month, and that's a lot for internet for a lot of people. But it covers everything up and down. But you have to buy your equipment. But other than that, it's supposed to be pretty reliable, from what I hear. A lot of that video footage you see, like the drones are dropping bombs on tanks and stuff like that in Ukraine, that's getting done by their that satellite link and all that stuff. Tells you how good it is.
Well, I think a lot of that we're getting is just basic stock footage that they're putting a story with. They've been caught doing that several times. Where was the one recently? It wasn't, about a year ago or so. They were talking about this huge firefight that was going on in Syria, and somebody recognized that it was a gun range in Kentucky where you can shoot machine guns.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they were trying to make like that was the footage from it, It's amazing what you can do with a narrative and a small amount of imagery. I mean, look at what me and Terry did with just that little couple short video clips and some info. Boom. Blew up, right?
Yeah, you got to watch your news source and all that stuff and look around on it.
Yes, it's Knob Creek. Kentucky Rifleman just says Knob Creek. I was literally just trying to think what it is. It's Knob Creek, and you can and that's got to be so crazy. Can you imagine how much that would cost?
Oh God.
Oh my God, dude.
Hey Glover, Mom, what you doing?
Is this the video, Sovereign?
Yeah, this is it. This is
Okay,
the one. Let me skip on up through my intro, because unless y'all want to see my intro, I made this too.
I saw the intro. I think did you post it yesterday? The new one.
Yeah. Hell, yeah. I'll go from where that ends. If you want to see my cool ass intro, go to my station. Oh, and welcome back to the channel. Tonight, our topic is going to be hypocrisy. Many times we see auditors and so-called game changers on the scene, but do they really believe what they propose to stand for? We have a current spotlight on delete laws, whose mission is to get rid of, as he calls them, torture cuffs and dungeons. And he wants to overturn Terry v. Ohio. Somehow this is supposed to be done merely by having t-shirts that say overturn Terry v. Ohio. That's the democratic process. But what we want to look at is does delete laws stand for what he says, or is it all just an act? Let's take a quick look and see what we can find out. All right, so we got a bad little problem going on here. We were out doing an audit here in Rockingham County over in Virginia, and Terry he's getting arrested for, I guess, obstruction and interfering. My phone's about to go dead, so I'm going to get off of here, and immediately I'm going to go up and see about getting him bonded out. Okay, everybody? All right, thanks. That was a clip of a fake arrest that Ironton Auditor and I set up on his visit here. My neighbor, who happens to be a sheriff's deputy, I asked him if he'd be willing to do a fake arrest. The reason being is I knew exactly how DeCastro would react. I said, one, he would go live within an hour of it happening. Two, that he would gloat and put his moon face all up into the camera and just be tickled to death about it. And three, that he would even title his video "Back the Blue Till It Happens to You." And those are exactly what happened. So let's take a look real quick and we'll see exactly how did DeCastro react when this was revealed to him that Ironton Auditor had been arrested.
Oh man. Saturday night, I'm out looking around. I got some, let me fix my phone. Got some information that Terry Nip, the Ironton cop sucker, was arrested in West Virginia. Terry, this is a message for Terry Nip. I don't think you belong in jail, bro. I don't know what kind of excuses you're going to make for the piggies that arrested you for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. I don't know. I can't. Here's how you know Terry's a fraud and not an auditor. Here's how you know he's a frauditor. Here's how you know Terry's a frauditor. He didn't film his arrest.
Well, moron. How would he know if he recorded it or not unless he went live? Being as if we're in a rural area, it would be very unlikely that he would be able to go live without using up massive amounts of data. So that wouldn't be how you know he's a fraud. I'm recording it. Stupid. Wow.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Hang on.
Just listen to this asshole. Just listen to him gloating and laughing as though he's about ready to come in his pants. What a fucking asshole. Does this sound like somebody who's against people being arrested for frivolous charges? Is that what that sounds like to you? Does that sound like somebody who's against torture cuffs? Huh? Not one bit.
So Terry gets arrested, okay? OTVO. Put OTVO in the comment section. Overturn Terry versus Ohio. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
Y'all make sure and pay attention to the chat. Make sure you pay attention to the chat on this. His followers are just as vehemently hateful and fucking stupid as he is. So you want to keep track of that.
So here's how you know that Terry Nip is not an auditor. He's a frauditor. Here's how you know. He didn't record himself getting arrested. If I was going to get arrested, you guys would see from my video me get arrested because I would turn my video on. Because that's what people who record cops do.
First of all, Twinkle Toes, you're not a auditor, not by any measure. The only time you've actually acted like you're doing anything is when you're clout chasing on somebody else's camera. Up until that point, you're about ready to get on your knees and perform favors for those officers as far as from what it looks like.
When you see a cop, you record him. That's how it works. That's the way it works. So Terry thought, sorry, random. There you go, random. Sorry, buddy. Appreciate that. When I was unlocking all the trolls, I first started removing moderators. I removed like 5 moderators, 3. I can't remember. I clicked a bunch of them, and then I realized, oh shit, these are not people I blocked. These are moderators. I've removed a couple moderators of my own. I didn't mean to. I was in the wrong box because you don't go in there very much. So anyway, so Terry, what Terry did, he thought because he put his nose all the way up the ass of the cop. He stuck his nose all the way up the ass of Chad Goo. Stuck his ass up. Stuck his nose up the ass of Chad Goo. He was a great big cop, stick sucker. That the cops wouldn't arrest him.
You mean like you were on that night in Hollywood when you were afraid of that gangbanger going to kick the shit out of you? You know, that same night you had that little ruse with Dan Clement. Yeah, that's it.
Terry Nip! Terry! I can't wait to hear Terry's story. Justify you being arrested for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Justify that, Terry Nip. I can't wait to hear your story, Terry, of how it was okay that you got arrested for resisting arrest.
You get the gist of it by watching that. We don't need to see any more of his stupid moon pie face pushed up, gloating over something that was nothing more than a very brilliant false flag pulled off by myself and Ironton Auditor. Later today, we see that he went out and did a fundraise for another auditor who got put in jail. So let's take a little bit of a look at that and see how he reacts to another auditor who has been put in the dungeon in torture cuffs.
Focus as hard as I can right now on our friend Johnny. His GoFundMe is in the it's in the description below. You know, we're a channel that helps people.
You help people? I didn't see any offers of any help while you were experiencing your ecstatic Schadenfreude moment. there doing your happy dance at the thought of someone who disagrees with you getting locked up and put in torture cuffs. But when it comes to somebody else who probably doesn't know you yet, now you're all about going to try to help, right? I wonder what you're getting out of this myself.
So right now, you know, all these channels that have been chiming in on my channel for the past several months, you know, you guys need to jump in now. You know, right now, every single person, if just the 50 or 100 people in the room now, if you guys just put in, you know, $20 each, $50 times 20, that's $1,000. We only got to raise 2,000. That means you only got to reach 100 people total at $20 a piece. So if you guys would please, you know, we have rights, cops have duties. He's sitting in jail in Nye County, Nevada right now. They're holding him, and it's just such crap. I mean,
it's such crap, is it, Chili? Is it such crap? It wasn't such crap when you thought Terry was locked up in jail. In fact, you thought it was just this thing in the world.
Like double standard.
Sitting here before you went on here, I bet you beat yourself like that motherfucker owed you money, didn't you? You sick little twisted ranting dwarf.
Listen, no matter what you believe, this man does not belong in a dungeon right now. And so take a look at in the description. There's a GoFundMe link. You donate directly to Johnny. He's in jail right now. You guys have seen him in this room 100 times.
Nobody belongs in a dungeon, Billy. Nobody should be in torture cuffs. Nobody should have all these things done to them unless it's somebody you don't like, right, Chili?
We have rights, cops have duties. Apparently the man is injured right now. Apparently he is injured badly right now.
So we see a real demeanor. The guy's even been injured. Didn't give a shit about Terry whatsoever. But this guy is apparently injured. He's going to try to raise $2,000. The grifting didn't go well. He had to beg. He really had to beg. He said he had a lot of people in the viewing and wonders why no one was donating. Well, moron, did it ever occur to you that most of those people are just watching a train wreck live? That's all. They're just watching as you tumble out of control with your craziness. And that's what everybody tunes in for. This is where your like to dislike ratio is about 38%, between 38 and 40%. People don't like you. People don't like you. And there's a reason for that. It's not everybody else's fault. It's your fault, Chili. You're a piece of dirt and nobody likes you. Your family doesn't even like you, for crying out loud. Anybody that you say is your friend ends up being on a federal tort lawsuit. You say you're not a statist, but you use every opportunity that you can find to use the state to try to fuck people. You don't know what you fucking believe, Chili. Now let's watch as our favorite sweetie turns around and puts on the waterworks and does his best acting performance. Apparently rubs something in his eye to generate some waterworks because he's so touched that people would try to help and even send their last little bit of money. Wait till you see this shit.
I mean, Daryl literally put in $3. Daryl put in $3.
Come on, man. Motherfucker just wiped soap in his eye.
Daryl's doing absolutely everything he can do to give. Daryl put in $3. God bless you, dude. Like you put in the money you had to give. Like that's what you just did, Daryl. Okay, so everybody, the GoFundMe is in the link below.
Well, it would appear that the waterworks at least worked a little bit, and he was able to secure the funds that he needed to get Johnny out of prison, out of the dungeon. He seemed to be quite elated by it.
this morning realizing I've got to get him out of jail today. Like, that's what I need to do. My job today is to get that man out of jail. And that's exactly what we've done. Thank you. Oh, I don't okay. I got you, sir. No problem. They're giving me my bins here. There it is. It showed up. There it is. Yes. All right, I got you guys. They're making me turn my phone off.
Making you turn your phone off? Wow. I thought you were an auditor, Chili. Why would you be turning your phone off? Go up against those pig tyrants and tell them that you have a First Amendment right and that you're gonna hit them with your tripod and smack them right in the dick with your Terry versus Ohio shit. Why don't you do that?
Got nothing but love for you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate you supporting me. I appreciate you guys supporting him. Get him out of jail. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gator.
Did he say later gator or legicator?
Oh,
Terry got out of jail, or better yet, when you found out he wasn't in jail, you tried your hardest to act like, oh, I'm really glad. Let's just take a look at that fake little performance, shall we?
Oh my goodness. I'm so happy to hear that Terry Nip, also known as the Iron Tin Cop sucker. I'm happy to hear that Terry Nip is not in jail. Honestly, I truly am. Terry, I'm so happy you're not in jail. That was a great troll. What it actually showed everybody is that you can be arrested anytime for anything.
No, it didn't show that at all.
Saying that your conduct was disorderly.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
except that nobody was really arrested, and you believed it. Didn't verify a damn thing, just took it and ran with it. It's like Charlie Brown with the football once again.
And then you resisted being arrested because you don't agree your conduct was disorderly. So now you got another charge. That's what showed, baby. Listen, you guys have a great Saturday night. I'm going to go out cop watching a little bit, but right now I'm just going to enjoy my pizza, my lasagna with my buddy, with my dog.
You have to eat pizza with your dog. Nobody else wants to be around you because you're a moon pie idiot. Yes, a big moon pie faced idiot. In fact, the dog doesn't even really like you, but it can't tell you that it doesn't like you because, well, it's a dog. But good luck with that anyway, Chili.
Terry, thank God you're not in jail, dude. Thank God. Really. All right. I'm out.
Well, I hope this has given you all a taste of what a hypocritical moron delete laws actually is. He doesn't believe in what he stands for. He doesn't stand for anything. It wasn't long ago he stood for diabetes and to fight against it as a super necessary human. Then he had some kind of a sex act. And then he made a fucking sweat sock that you strap on your dick so you don't crazy. Who fucking thinks of this kind of shit? Can you see somebody on sweat tank? Yes, sir. It's a sock that you put on your dick so it doesn't get sunburned. Out the door. Anyway, I hope this has been entertaining, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can see the hypocrisy involved in delete laws. We'll be doing some more, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Remember the thumbs up is part of our Fonzie scheme. Hey, okay, so you'll want to go with that. Be part of something. And always remember this: Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See it up.
Hey, Chad, I got a link in the private chat to do that Western Wall thing. I didn't realize I couldn't post links in the chat thing here on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what, if you guys will entertain it for just a second, I got to close down my mic, so I'll go over there and I'll give you your wrench back and stuff, Arty. Hang on.
Hey, Sovereign, I love that video, by the way, and you're right. That does prove what a hypocritical fuck that little shit really is. Hey, fuck you, Chill.
Fucking Chili.
Dude, that was he's a horrible thing. He really is.
Yeah,
Chili, this is your mother. I'm
Thing-
disappointed in you, you son of a bitch. How dare you?
Now, Mrs. DeCastro, what was it that caused Chili to become what he is today? I mean, was there something in his childhood that would account for his behavior?
Multiple things. Instead of a pacifier, we gave him a dildo to suck on, which proves you are what you eat, and lead paint chips. Very much lead paint chips.
Oh, yes, the lead paint chips. Absolutely.
So actually, Chili is the original legislator. He's a constitutional scholar. He ate lead paint chips, so he is the true legislator. We're just with the fake. We're with the wannabe.
Well, you've done a fantastic job of creating a beneficial element to our society, Mrs. DeCastro.
Oh, he's brought many people together, helped international commerce and brotherly love between Ireland and the United States. He's helped, even more commerce with Team Skeptic out there in Ireland. Well, not just Ireland, but all over Europe, spreading the good word in Texas. And he's brought in a lot of people money and stuff like that with this stupidity. So we must say thank you, son, for showing us how not to be.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's definitely entertaining, if absolutely nothing else. It's fun to get on there and just watch his life burn like a bad dumpster fire. Like a terrible Jerry Springer episode. It's just 24/7 with that guy.
Yeah, he's a pretty rough one. It's just like I've said before, it's just like, okay, this guy can't get any more stupid. And he's like, here, hold my beer. I'll top my last one, boy.
Hey, David, what are the two Muppets' names that sit in the balcony? What are their names?
Mortimer, and I think it's Mortimer, and I don't know what the other guy's name is, but I don't know why I think that.
Well, I'm trying to figure out which one I am.
I just seen Kick in the chat too. Kick, if you want to come up, I can send you a link.
I might be thinking of trading places too. I don't know. I'm going to ask Google. Let's ask Google. Google knows every fucking thing.
If it don't, it'll make some shit up. I guarantee it.
That'll be, at least we'll be pacified.
Statler and Wardle. Statler's the bald one.
Yeah, that's right. Stedler and Wardlow. That's right. Good job, Uncle Arty.
I'm not sure.
He looked it up.
Not at all.
He looked it up. Don't give him credit.
Shut up, you full slugger.
So which one am I is all I need to know. Which one am I?
Well, you have to do the shorter one.
Got the beard. One has a beard, the other one doesn't.
Hey, Arty, see if you got your moderator thing back.
I do.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you, sir. I have another.
Hey, Kick, do you want to come up? I could send you a link.
Oh man, you gotta hear or watch Kick's video today. Reading of
I didn't get to watch it either because I was working.
Yeah, you can watch his, and Mama Cholita did one too, but his is more creepier and funnier.
Well, I mean, it is close to Halloween. So.
Man, I wish you would have set that to like some 70s porn music. That would have been funny.
Oh, I got something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Chad, I heard you got a new sponsor down at the Lake, what do you want to call it? Lawrence County Jail. I've got the commercial all queued up. You're interested.
Oh, my God. What are you talking about?
Yeah. You know what good cereal is, don't you?
Oh, man, you see what Kick's going to be doing tomorrow. That sounds like a pretty daggone good Saturday. Slinging some lead. All right, let me pull it up here, Arty. All right, go ahead with it.
This would have saved old Cholita $2,000 for himself. And when had to bail a guy out, the guy could have bailed himself out. But oh no,
wasn't me.
Here we go.
1555 wasn't me.
Luna bail bonds. When your hand-to-hand combat skills fail you, they get your ass out of jail fast. Remember, the phone number is 1555. Wasn't me. Again, the number is 1555. It wasn't me. And as old Glencerio says, Luna's the main man. Ask him about their super chat discounts. The first 5 frauders get 5% off free. Remember, that number's 555. Wasn't me.
Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast is sponsored by DeCastro Feminine Wash. Smells like a woman.
Oh,
It still acts like a bitch.
oh my. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's funny. Oh my God. What's that? What is that? What's the deal with that Luna? Is that like a?
Oh, there was. If you know who Glencerio is, he's like.
Yeah, he's
the
that
true
big sloppy guy,
retarded
right?
Version. He's like the out of shape fat fuck version of Cholita without the cult of personality and the looks and all that. And anyways, he's always begging for money and all that stuff. And his biggest supporter was this guy named Luna. Luna, you're the man. Hey Luna, send me a $200 super chat. How about $100 super chat, Luna? Come on, Luna.
Wow.
So he done that, and he ended up getting arrested. And
Well, Luna, if you're out there, buddy, I could use a new gun. If you want to send a couple super chats my way.
Luna is the equivalent of what that rich millionaire dude that Cholita likes to go and visit and service at times.
Wow.
Well, my opinion, he services him in other ways.
I'm sure. Everybody's loving your pick there, Sovereign.
Thank you very much.
Ain't she?
Faced.
Wanted to tell you about one time when I used my officer discretion and planted evidence on a guy so that he got put away for murder.
I look like Mark Schott, the former owner of the Cincinnati Reds. Yeah.
Owen! Owen!
God, she does look like Mark Schott.
Now we're showing
Night.
that Goonies reference. You do realize that, right?
Yeah.
Which one? What are you talking about?
You're killing me, Smalls.
That movie, The Goonies, he made a reference to Owen. You remember the movie, The Goonies?
Oh yeah, I remember the movie.
Mama from the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Screaming at, or no, I'm sorry. It was Throw Mama from the Train. I apologize. Wrong movie. Right person. Wrong movie. When
That
she
was Goonies. I don't know, whatever.
No, man.
Look at this.
That's from Throw Mama.
Nope, wasn't me. Said Reth Beast.
That's from Throw Mama from the Train.
Sovereign, I figured you would like that.
Aaron!
I figured you would like that comment I have highlighted there, Sovereign.
Hey, I gotta admit, Lord De Laguna, she's actually kind of cute. She's quirky, but she's dumb as hell.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'd have to admit, Lord De Laguna,
Hey, he got pissed off at her.
yeah, I know. I've seen that.
What are you talking
He was
about?
all pissed off at De Laguna, that law student chick, and I tweaked her frog one day. I was on Paul on Slave's panel, and they were talking about her, and I said, well, she probably feels really bad since she was, jilted and no longer the girlfriend of Delete Laws. Boy, she couldn't wait to come on there and dispel that.
I sent that back to you, Mike.
I was never his girlfriend.
Oh, no.
see?
When he said that he didn't like Trump, she okay, that's the end of this. She cut that video real quick. Like, thanks for coming.
Well, see, that's what gets people like on I'd be on I have Gab and Facebook, and I'll go on there and I'll say something fucked up about Biden. Next thing I know, I got all these people wanting to friend me, because I'm making fun of Biden. And then I turn around and I'm making fun of Trump. And they're like, I thought you were a Trump supporter. And I'm like, why would you think that? I don't support any of them. at all. I think they're all a bunch of ass hats. So I make fun of them both.
Okay, as a matter of fact, I'll take this time to go ahead and say you can write in old Chad Legicator next time at the poll. Just write me in, folks. I'll take care of it.
If you want, I'm running on a platform that if I am elected president, my first order of business will be to create an executive order that abolishes government never to be formed again, and then quit.
And then retire.
Yep, right there. One day, the shortest term ever. It'd be all over. Game, mic drop.
Well, yeah, I got bad news for you. I think somebody else that starts with a C is going to be getting elected pretty soon. So,
Who, Clinton?
No, even worse. Believe it or not, didn't know that was possible, did you?
Well, he has to start out as mayor of Ironton, and then he'll be governor and president of Ohio, and then maybe he'll run for the White House seat.
Oh, he's going to be president.
Let me tell you, before y'all start laughing about that, I want you to compare Chile to current high-level politicians that we have right now. Nancy Pelosi.
Her image, ain't it?
Yeah, see, it's possible. AOC.
Hey, I'll be right back, guys. You guys
even got
a little shit for a minute.
Eric Swalwell. Dude cut a fart on live TV. Got caught banging a Chinese spy. They still got him on there with this. He's got one of them moon pie faces like Chile's got. So don't discount that he couldn't do it, because he's absolutely just the right type. You know how Nixon got into politics was that Prescott Bush put an ad in the newspaper, said he wanted the most unscrupulous person that he could find that would do anything to get ahead. And Richard Nixon showed up and answered for the ad. That's no kidding. Well, who'd that be?
Hope everybody out there in the chat's having a good night. I can't get into the chat from where we're at here on the yards. I'm out. Eugene and I are out rolling through the town now as we speak. So I apologize that I'm not in here to talk to y'all like I normally am, but hello to everybody.
This is beautiful. I have to download this. This is just classic. Why do we have dead air? Why is nobody talking? What is going on?
Oh, I'm ordering some magazines for my 45.
Oh, what kind you got?
I've got a SAR USA. It's a KT-12. Sorry, ST-45. Hold on, I'll post a picture of it.
I got a Kimber 1911 LW.
Hold on. It's K245 series. Sorry, my bad. I've been looking at the other ones. I'm one of these idiots that have to have a safety on the gun. I hate Glocks. I swear to God, I hate Glocks.
See, here's my safety. This is why I like the holster that I use. I use a Bulldog retention holster. And the beauty of that is, of course, you muscle memory as well. But when you hit that button on the holster to release the pistol, your finger, as you slide out, your finger's already in a safe position outside of the guard. You're automatically, you have trigger discipline right there. And so that I don't have no problem carrying my Glock or my M&P.
Yeah, but real early days.
I was carrying my Kimber. I was at the grocery store and I'm standing in line, and this guy behind me goes, "You know that thing's cocked, right?" And I said, "Well, yeah." And he goes, "You always walk around with it cocked and loaded like that?" And I said, "Well, damn thing ain't no good if it ain't. What are you talking about? It's got a safety on it. It's in a holster. Ain't gonna shoot nobody. Don't fret, old man. You'll be all right."
Sorry, I stand correct. I'm looking at it here. Hold on. Pop myself on camera for a second.
Let's see. I gotta do this here too. Somebody just sent me this.
It's an ST-45 by SARS Salamaz or whatever. Long story short, I'm younger, lived in Arkansas, and heard somebody trying to break in. At least I thought it was. I grabbed hold of my gun, and I had this old revolver. It's like a 32 snub nose I'd gotten from my grandfather. Passed away, and I really wasn't paying attention. And poof! I pulled the trigger when I hit the corner because I had my finger on the damn trigger.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, look at there's Mrs. Legicator.
Yeah. I had my
Whoa. Hi, baby. What you doing, buddy? Sorry, buddy, not baby. Can't hit on a married man's wife that I know. Not that it's a whatever. All right, I'll tell a real quick story. Long story short, the hi, baby, what you do? It's actually making fun of the guys going, hey, girl, you want what's in my pants? Woo, hey, baby.
Lord of
One of the guys like that. Hold on. Let me get my damn camera.
What are you doing?
Did anybody catch
All right, there we go. That's what I got.
Oh, there you go.
See, ST45, you got the safety right there.
Mm-hmm. It's like on a 45.
Yeah. Oh, the release is right here.
What's a safety? What's that for? I thought that was you keep your booger hook
Normally,
off.
yeah, but I learned my lesson not to do it because if anybody else does, 12-round magazine, HST, hollow points from Federal.
How dare you show me that naked gun, sir?
Yep.
That's like dirty pictures.
I ain't bald. I just shaved my head bald. I still got the mullet, bitches.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Here we go again.
Told you I got the mullet.
That's hysterical.
Anyways, I love the stopping power of a 45, but I got tired of carrying my 40s because I'm a big Beretta PX4 Storm fan.
I've had
40 cal. You got the capacity, almost the capacity of a 9, but almost the stopping power of 45, but the shit's gotten a lot more dangerous ever since fucking Antifa and all that other bullshit. And I'm like, fuck this. I want stopping power and the magazine. I went searching around and I found this one, and it's pretty reliable. As long as you don't get the 14-round magazine, you're good to go with the 12. Because 14-round, I guess, it'll cause jams or whatever. This thing is pretty fucking reliable. Keep it oil and clean, you're good to go. I mean, it's not like you can throw the dirt on it like you can a Glock and all that and expect it to keep firing, but you keep good, keep it clean and all that shit, and it's good to go. Pretty solid, reliable. But that's just my opinion. I mean, we all know shot placement, blah, blah, blah. Person wants it. I mean, their preference. You shoot somebody in the fucking center mass and all that, they're going to go down. But my opinion, yeah, we've seen somebody get shot in the heart and run out the door of a convenience store and they fall down dead later on. It was 9mm. 45, they're pretty much going to drop. My opinion.
Oh, Arty, we need to talk.
I know the ballistics and all that other stuff, 9mm have gone up, blah, 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 blah.
Here's the reality. I'm gonna break your heart. There's no such thing as stopping power. The reality is if you take a 200-pound man and you hit him with a tiny little object the size of your pinky, the physics aren't there. The only real stopping power would be a 50 BMG or a 12-gauge double-aught buck at 10 foot away. Pistols are just made to make holes until you bleed out. That's a beautiful gun. Sovereign, what is that 1911?
Is it Kimber?
Yeah. I've had a few Kimbers.
Oh, I have a friend on camera with me. What?
Oh, that's a beautiful friend too. What's his name?
Her name is Moonshadow.
Moonshadow. Oh. Is that a shepherd?
Yep.
Yeah,
Lucy.
pretty.
Okay, what? What? What?
Here, look.
You know?
She sees your dog.
Oh, really?
You see him? Look.
Where'd you go, Moon? Come here. Come here. Come on up here, sweetheart. Come on up here, see daddy. Come up here, see daddy. Yes. You good, baby? You good, baby? Give me a kiss. No? Okay. Screw you then.
She's like, okay, I'm over it. I think she got the rest of them riled up, Sovereign.
I think my dog's getting.
Fabio thinks something's happening.
See, you got him started, Lucy. Lucy.
There's Mike. What's up, brother?
Hey, Mike, what's up?
I mean, Ref Beast.
Ref Beast.
You like that, didn't you?
I like that. Oh, God. Take that
This
off.
is Death Risk. One time back in 1906, I arrested a man for stealing hogs. He didn't really steal them. It was me, but I planted the evidence using my officer discretion so that I didn't get in trouble.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, no, he did.
He did.
Oh, my.
Oh, craziness.
This, I wanted to come up just real quick, say a couple of things. First of all, I've been accused of hiding behind a name and stuff, so here I am.
How dare you?
But,
Artie, is that your dog?
No,
Yeah,
it's
hold on.
Arty. It's Arty. It's not his dog. No, I'm just.
okay.
I'll play with my dog.
Pretty sure your dog's like Cujo.
That's intense.
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
No, it's cool. First thing I wanted to say, Chad, is just huge appreciation for you and your team the other day. And I'm sorry to hear about your son's knee, but yeah, good for him for being a kid, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And he's tough as nails too. So
Yeah. Because I can guarantee you, if I fell like off this chair, I'd be down for a few weeks.
I'll preach to the choir now, buddy.
Anyway, that entire day, I just, what you guys do is just amazing to me. And your whole team had to have earned your year's salary in that day. That was a horrific situation. I don't want no detail. I don't want any details. And I know you can't talk about it, but just from the sanitation guys that had to be just traumatized to some degree anyway to what they came upon. And I know you guys were there. Some version of you guys were there all damn day and up until like midnight, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it's probably later than that. Yeah.
And the tragic, this is just out from my house. This is over on 9th Street. I'm on 5th, but that fella, well, his name's in the picture. Mr. Pleasant was a fine member of this community, just a superhuman being, always nice, always kind. Waved to everybody that went by. He was always out working in his driveway. So to the family and everybody, I just feel horrible.
Yeah.
But, I said when Boomers was on fire, that been 2 weeks ago or so, I said to somebody that night, I was like, holy, that right there is when the firemen make their salary. One day like that, just one day. So I'm proud to live in this town, and I'm proud of guys like you and the rest of your team. So I just wanted to thank you publicly.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. And honestly, I'll say this. I'm very blessed to have the young men working under me, because we really are blessed in the community. And yes, I know, there's some bad eggs everywhere and things that happen and stuff. And but we get rid of them when we find that happening. We do what we got to do to get rid of it. But as far as overall, I would put my guys up against anybody. They work their hind ends off and they do it to the best of their ability, and they really do love that community. Like, I mean, I think that's one benefit too of being in a smaller town like that is it's more personal.
Oh yeah.
Those guys, even like Evan, he's born and raised there. He went to school, grew up right there, and went to from grade school all the way up, and a lot of our guys are have that kind of connection, and it really is personal, means a lot to them. And I'll tell you, it really means a lot to hear, even people from the community, to step up and say something like that. It really is encouraging because it definitely does get tiring, and there's a lot of times when you're at some place like that. And I mean, I felt bad for my guys, and I was, I was kind of saying, you know, there were some people brought in some pizzas and stuff when that was going on, and it was just really nice gesture. And I was like, man, we got to relieve these guys. You know, well, you know, I was checking on all my guys, like who's here and where and all that stuff. Let those guys off the road for a little bit. Let them come back and kick their feet up for a minute and get them a bite to eat, you know, because I know they're tired. You know, they're standing in one place for hours, or, you know, or keeping the chain of custody on evidence and stuff. And that's exhausting, man. You know, and that was kind of an icky day too, you know.
Yeah.
So it was really, really tough, and they really done their job, and I'm really proud of them, truly. And our detectives come out, they've done what they were supposed to do. We got BCI involved ASAP, the Lawrence County Prosecutor's Office, the State Highway Patrol assisted. I mean, there were several agencies actually involved that stepped up and really, really helped out. And every time that we have something like that, it seems like they're always really good about stepping up and really being part of it.
Right.
So we're blessed. In our community, we're really blessed.
I was impressed by the response time of BCI as well. Those guys.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
that's huge. I just wanted to really say a bunch of appreciation for all that. That was you know, and like you said, it's a small community, and when, you know, when anybody goes down in any way, it affects us all. I said not long ago, I couldn't imagine what a school shooting would do to this community.
Oh man.
I just can't even imagine. You know, Uvalde got just ripped apart from the devastation of that, and those people are still suffering down there. I just can't imagine it here. But I think our schools are safe. You know, I believe our schools are safe. But just
I'll tell you, as far as administrators at the schools, I don't think you could have handpicked better leaders of those schools than ones that we have, and the way that they love those kids. You know, Joe Rowe is, man, he's a hero in that town as far as I'm concerned. The way that he loves those kids and he does things, and I mean, I hate to throw his name out here, but I mean, he is, you know, he's a principal of one of the schools, and you know, I've personally seen Joe on his off time going over and picking up kids and taking them to play ball and you know, stuff like that. That people don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I've seen it.
Oh yeah.
And it's not just Joe. I mean, you know, there's several of them that are involved like that. And our teachers down there are love our kids, and they're really making a differences and stuff. And I can assure you that the Ironton Police Department, the Iron Fire Department and stuff will do everything that we can to make sure that those babies are protected. I promise.
Yeah.
You know, and that's obviously there's always a risk, you know, in today's society and these wackos that are out there, you never know, but I can promise you this, we will do everything in our power to make sure that doesn't happen to the children in our community. And if they do, we're going to go in and shoot the son of a bitch real fast.
Good. Yeah, I agree.
You know, it just makes me wonder what has, why are there these people? I mean, what is going on that we have so many fucking crazy people?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, really, you look at it, it's really bad. If I go back and I compare the way things were, say, in 1975 to the way they are now, oh my God. It's like the whole front of any parking lot is handicapped. They're all full. There's all these people are sickly and fucked up and on medications and shit. So many obese people. When I was a little kid, if you saw somebody that was obese, it was rare. And I remember my mother telling me, oh, don't stare, because it was an oddity to a child, you know? And now it seems to be so commonplace. And the mental health of people is just through the freaking roof. I can't get over how just downright lunatic.
Well, let me tell you this, and I have an opinion. I have an opinion on this, and I'm please, nobody judge me on this, and don't hate me in the chat when I say this, because I may be wrong, and I'm the first one to admit if I am. But I really have an opinion that we live in a society now that's unlike anything that we've ever seen in history, because we generally carry the world in the palm of our hand with that cell device. Mm-hmm. And our kids are exposed to a lot of different things that they never were exposed to in the past, you know, and they can reach out and do things they never could, you know, before. You know, that's why you see so many marriages fail. That's why you see a lot of things happen, is because we are such a connected generation, you know what I mean? And then you see, we live in a society where they hate absolutes until it's something that they're absolute about. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, now I'm going to have to disagree with you there. So you're wrong. When the reality is, I don't know if I'm right or if I'm wrong, but I should be able to have my opinion without somebody saying something mean to me any more than I would to anybody else. But I think when we get in a situation where we stop teaching our kids right and wrong, and we can't do the things that we're allowed to do. They teach, and I've shared this story about my son, the one that actually is injured right now, and he brought home his homework, and they were talking about the Constitution in one of his homework assignments, and blatantly in his public school was wrong. And they were, and it actually like puzzled me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like they're genuinely trying to teach my kid wrong. And it's like, that's not what the Constitution was written for. And I think we've lost that. I think we've lost that community connection of people just really caring about what's going on around them and loving freedom and loving seeing people be happy and succeed. It's just, it's awful, man. It really is.
Well, we've got a generation now that was brought up primarily by the government. Okay, the tax base is so high that you have to have 2 incomes in a family to raise any kids or even to have any, and so this leaves a gap. Who's there to bring up the children? Right? Yep. It's the government, the schools, the indoctrination centers. Now, the schools are not inherently bad unto themselves. They have to go by a program. They have to go by a curriculum, and that is not determined by them. And so consequently, we get the type of lessons that you're talking about, Legicator, with your son, that it's like, bullshit, that's not what happened there. I ran across the same thing with history with my kids, and they're in their 30s now. And so this has been a gradual progression of changing history through just incrementally changing the narrative in the teaching, changing the narrative into the teaching, because after all, most of it is now designed. It's not the use of brain. They're not teaching them how to think. What's happening is they're teaching them to memorize and regurgitate the information that they're given. This has been the case for a long time, and it is the problem with a lot of our education system, that rather than being taught to think, they're taught to memorize and regurgitate. And anyone that comes along and says, "Hey, let's look at this in an alternative way like this. Let's see if let's question what we're being told." Well, then that's off the books. You can't have that. And it was said by we know the NEA was started by Rockefeller, and the subsequent results of that has been become very evident. He in fact said, is quoted as saying, "I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers." And this is why you got everybody come out of high school and go out and into the workforce. It's like, why not have a workforce? Let's always save that for the other schools like Eton and that. Those are the other things.
So, Sovereign, I think you're onto some things, and definitely, you said this early, and in the 80s, when which Reagan was president the entire time during the 80s, but in the 80s was when both parents start working. I was with my mom today, and she was my dad passed away. It's almost exactly 2 years ago, but so I take care of my mom, and we were getting her signed up we were doing some banking stuff for her anyway. And the woman said, "Well, so what, are you retired?" And Mom said, "I never worked."
Mm-hmm.
And I was raised in this neighborhood down here, and we could play 9-on-9 baseball in this neighborhood.
Yep.
And my mom was home. And in the 80s, that's when it started changing to where both parents had to go work to survive, to be able to make a damn house payment if they were lucky enough to be able to do that. The other thing that happened at the exact same time, and it was pretty much for the same reason, and it was more greed became part of it, but we started consolidating schools at the exact same time.
That really got big in the 90s as well.
Yeah. So now you're taking, a neighborhood school or, even like a small regional high school, and now you're jamming all these people. So you're going from class, not just class size, but you're going from schools that used to have, I think every school in Lawrence County, I believe all the high schools have about 350 to 400 students. They're all about the same size. But you go across the river to Huntington, they've got 2 high schools now up there, and they've got 2,000 kids in them.
Yeah.
And they're pulling from all over the place. Well, so what went with that is, okay, the kids aren't important in those schools, they're numbers. There's still only 15 basketball players on the basketball team. Mm-hmm. There's still only X amount of people on the debate team. So the opportunities for kids to belong became more and more, or less. There's less opportunities. So both of those things happen. And I want a disclaimer. I am my profession is in mental health. I'm just going to leave it right there. I don't want to say to what degree.
Don't be careful talking to Uncle Arty, or you'll end up getting a client.
I know. Well, I also don't want anything that I say to be considered any kind of.
Sure, absolutely. I think everybody. Well, I hope that everybody here knows that we're all just shooting the breeze at this point. No professional
right
opinions are given here.
It's a serious situation if I did, but so I'm just making a comment about the society right now. I live this neighborhood I live in, and you know where I live, Chad. I think I'm down on 1500 block.
Right.
But Mrs. Molmeister still lives across the street.
Mm-hmm.
She's the mother of the chief of the fire chief.
Mm-hmm.
And Dean McDonald lives next to my mom. And all this neighborhood is still intact, but most of the neighborhoods in town aren't intact. We used to have 7 grade school football teams. Now we have 1 grade school.
Mm-hmm.
So that impact is huge. And on the mental health part, the impact of being raised with no parents around, being latchkey kids, which most kids are, is horrible. And then COVID, which was a very real thing in my opinion. I don't want to get into big COVID. I know personally 14 people that it killed, but that changed the dynamics and tremendously, because now a parent had to be around, which shrunk the workforce.
Well, let me tell you this, something that you were touching on, and I'll interject and get right back to you. But when you were talking about the single parent homes, in my job, you would be astounded by the amount of times that people will call me to discipline their child that's under 10 years old.
I believe it.
And I literally, when this very first started happening to me, I kind of had that dumbfounded look on my face. And I said, what do you mean? Well, he won't listen to me. And I said, well, what do you mean he won't listen to you? He's 9. And he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. And I said, and once again, this is just me speaking my opinion as a dad and as a man. I said, have you busted his ass?
Right.
And it's like, well, you can't do that. No, you're obligated to make him a functioning member of society. That's your job. So when you're failing him, that's not fair to anybody.
Couldn't agree more.
Including himself. So the problem is when people literally count on the government when talking to say it, and they're counting on the government, not just the school board, but they're counting on even the police department to come and tell their kid what to do. And it's like, and I can't stand when people too will say, will you go over here and talk to little Timmy? I want you to scare him. And I said, no, I will not go scare a child and make them not like me, because who do you want them to come to if something, God forbid, happens bad?
Right.
You want them to know they can come and talk to me, and I'm not going to scare a little kid. However, maybe, just maybe, if you were to discipline your child a little more, they would mind you better. And that's just my opinion. But, I just want to interject that while you was going there. But
I agree. And I think when we lost the local schools, the neighborhood schools and stuff like that, it was huge. Every parent in my neighborhood growing up had a hall pass to whip my ass.
Oh yeah.
They all did. And thank God for those people that raised us, man. We were all over this damn neighborhood. Now we had Judge Burwell as our probate.
I've heard stories. That was before my time.
Hey, the dude made Asshole of the Month in Hustler magazine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I gotta say. But I got to go see him once. That was not a good time. But anyway, you know, but we weren't afraid of the police. We would do ornery shit, you know, and throw snowballs at cars and crap like that. But overall, it was a friendly relationship, and they knew what we were doing all the time, and we knew what, you know, it was just a good deal. But the neighborhoods have collapsed, and people don't know their neighbors.
Yeah,
you know, it's just the deal.
You know, a few years back, I'd done that Citizens Watch thing in Ironton, and I went around and I had the meetings, you know, and I'd go around to people's houses or you know, if they wanted to get a community building or sometimes churches or wherever, you know, in different neighborhoods, and I would try to help them get a program up and going, you know, for like a community watch thing, and it took off pretty good there for a while, and I would tell people, you know, your biggest crime prevention tip that I can give you is get to know your neighbors.
Yeah.
Know these people. Watch out for each other. You know, you know, if you're paying attention, I'm not asking you to be a nosy neighbor, but there's no reason why if you see a pickup truck that's not normally at, you know, Mr. such and such's house and he's not there and there's somebody out there, you know, walking around his house, it's probably something you ought to keep an eye peeled for, or maybe even call us and let us know and let us come up and talk to him at least, you know, because the last thing that we do, and we've got so bad, we got, like I said, we carry the world in the palm of our hand and then we stay within our R4 no more. And it just amazes me that these people would sit back and watch this stuff happen. And it's like, wow, you guys, you mean you've seen this guy? Literally, I had one just recently where the guy literally heard somebody in his neighbor's back shed busting the window out and didn't even call us.
Yep.
And I was like, why would you not call us, dude?
You're not trying to look at each other and have each other back, are you?
Try again, Terry.
So I live alone, so I've got security cameras around my house, and it's, you know, just in case something stupid happens, somebody breaks in my building, you know, my out back or anything like that.
Sure.
But, you know, I got to deal with my neighbors where I've got a camera that's shooting at their garage to make sure I can keep an eye on their garage too, you know?
Absolutely.
I don't sit at home and stare at my cameras all day, but I get alerts. And normally it's a freaking stray cat, but yeah, so I think that's a lot to do with the mental health is such a challenge right now. And then, you know, this can be a 5-hour discussion. You go into the all the industry leaving the area and all that, but I don't want to get into all that. I'm just I'm still super proud of this town. And I will give old dipshit some credit in the fact that I think he's brought the appreciation for your force, Chad, from the community into a greater light. And
I believe so.
It's been a lot of uniting around that.
It certainly has. You know, and I've said this before, Mike, when this was going on and this very first was kind of happening. And I remember going to the local gas stations or whatever, you know, and I'd walk in and I was amazed. Even like being in the PD in the parking lot and people just coming in and putting cards under our windshield wipers and saying, God bless you, we love you guys, or coming and saying stuff to us, or coming up and, you know, wanting to tell us we appreciate you guys and don't pay any mind to that dumbass, you know, that type of thing was going on everywhere. And man, I just it blows my mind, truly blows my mind how wonderful that community really is when it's almost like when somebody pushes on one of our own. That's when you see, and I think it does go back to what you were just saying, is Ironton has still been blessed enough to keep that small community type mentality overall.
Yep.
You know, because we still go to football games on Friday nights. Of course, we just so happen to have, in my opinion, the best football program in the state of Ohio.
Absolutely.
But that being said, and we have our coach that I hope we can keep right there happy. But I'll tell you, you know, to have that kind of community there and that type of involvement.
Oh yeah.
You can't duplicate that. it's either there and you kind of just click and love on each other and accept each other and work for it, or you don't. And I
Right.
think that Ironton's just been blessed to have that.
I agree. So the last thing I want to say is, I put my face up now and my real name, and I'm sure one person's head's going to fucking explode over it. And I'm from the whole get go, and maybe someday I'll tell the whole story, but I'm just going to say this: fucking shit or get off the pot. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah, exactly. So the idle threats and the all the stuff that has nothing to do really with anything. Just fucking do something if you're going to do it. And the last thing I want to say about that is I want to go back to that false ticket. I want to make it clear that when I was on city council at the time, and I was the vote that decided to continue the arbitration, because the insurance company at the time was saying, "Hey, you guys got to end this up. It's going to end up costing more to fight her lawsuit than it is to then we just settle," which insurance companies do. They do it with the city all the time. Hey, it's cheaper to settle. Boom, go. And I was the deciding vote that said, no, we're going this. You can't risk someone's credibility in court that's going to be out writing tickets. And that was my sole thought behind it. There was no personal attack. There was no, it was just a principle thing. You can't have an officer with a false writing an obvious falsified document and then show up in court and have any credibility to testify.
Hey, Sovereign, do you think we could maybe get our screen changed back up and hear one more time about officer discretion?
You're scaring me.
I was using my officer discretion to try to help myself.
Yeah. Oh, and I will tell you this is I passed several lie detector tests, by the way. That's all I got. That's all I want to say on that subject.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, and and that's the thing too, is, it kind of comes back to, and I'm here's my thing. And it amazes me at how much that she attacks me about stuff, and I've never said the ill word to that lady. Not one time. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why in the world? And like the nonsense that I've heard about me, and I'm going, oh my God, that's just not true. Like, what are you talking about? But then the fact that I don't, and she'll go in and she'll send me a message occasionally telling me what a class act I am. And the next day say something bad about me on some kind of stream. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
When I'm working and I work a lot with addicts, and when a common, and I'm not saying anybody's an addict, but the common thread is either you're going to operate your life with optimism, or you're going to dwell on resentments in the past and be a victim. So, and it's up to you.
I think that's basic psychology, despite addict or not, isn't it?
Simple. Yeah. It's really common with addicts. Resentments are, I always say resentments are drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. Hanging on to being pissed at somebody because you think they wronged you you just can't live that way.
Right.
You don't have to like everybody. I mean, you don't even have to forgive everybody. You just need to go on.
Yeah. Just as the old saying, forgive and forget. Well, even if you can't forgive, then how about just forgetting?
Just forget. Yeah. So there's a lot of that intertwined. And I'm not going to get into certainly diagnosing specific people, but I wish everybody the best. That's what I do. I think there's I think Chili needs help. I really do. He's the problem with what he fits all 9 criteria of narcissism. The problem with being a narcissist is you don't know you're sick.
Right.
They won't accept that they're sick, so they won't accept help. And it's rare that anyone would enter any kind of treatment for narcissism. So, and he's not bipolar. I don't think he's not bipolar. He could be schizoaffective, but he's not. He's you know, he doesn't have anything that is like psychotic, like schizophrenia. He's not that or anything like that. But he's a sick individual, and he needs help. But he also has no friends saying, "Hey," because he has no friends.
Well, when you burn so many bridges and you make people, that's even what I said in one of my videos. You can't go around treating people poorly. You
Right.
can't go around being mean to people all the time and think that people are not going to get tired of it and call you. And that guy that the one that he acted tough with and chased down the road or whatever that night in Hollywood, I believe, on the video or whatever.
Dan Clement, whatever his name.
Yeah, and here's the thing is he made it out like he's being targeted by people that are doing something silly. Like, did you ever think maybe just people don't like you being an asshole all the time?
Oh, so his reaction to Kate was exactly the same. He was getting embarrassed in public, which is narcissists can't stand. You want to get a narcissist, you want to pull their switch, is embarrass them in public. He did the exact same thing to me when I rickrolled him. It freaked him the fuck out. I mean, he smacked my car and stuff. I was just laughing at the guy, but I
what's his name? The pastor that's the councilman. What's his name? That was on the video, Mike. Is it Craig?
Craig. Yeah, his dad's a pastor. Steve.
Yeah. When he got up there and said, "Oh, I just want to walk with you."
Yeah.
And the irony of that was thinking myself, he literally does this to every human being he meets.
Yeah.
But when somebody and literally and Craig is such a soft guy anyway, and I'm thinking he didn't come across like he was one. He was literally introducing himself as a pastor of the church.
Right.
And he's still like, "Well, I don't want you walking behind me." It's like, oh my gosh, dude, you do it to everybody. I mean, shame on you, And it's, oh wow, it's just crazy. Sovereign, that comments to you on the screen, by the way.
I'm sorry, I was trying to edit something here real quick. I'm listening, but I'm not reading. How's
causing fundraising? Oh, anyway,
he got arrested. I don't know what his exact arrest was for. I forget what the guy's channel is now. Even I've seen a couple of his things before, but apparently he got arrested in Nye County and was in a jail in, I guess, Tonopah. And Tonopah's, you ever see me in that brown vest? That's where I got that at. It's kind of a old mining town.
If it was the guy that Chili did the fundraiser for today.
Yeah. And cried.
That guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I haven't watched him a whole lot.
I watched the video where he got arrested, and I don't know how people didn't kill him, but the cop was great with him. The cop was just like, and then the guy shoved a cop. You don't do that.
Technically, no, Ohio is not a mutual combat state by definition. The law says disorderly conduct is to provoke a violent response or voluntarily intoxicated in public. There's several violent turbulent behavior, provoke a violent response. There's several different things, and any of those would basically fall under actually fighting, whether it be mutual or not. So, long story short, no, it's not really mutual.
Hey, Sovereign, I wanted to show you one more thing before I went off.
You see what's behind him over there? I know what he was doing. I seen his. He's got his.
First thing I noticed when he came on camera.
Oh yeah, he got his shreddage over
this
there.
Is my baby.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wow.
Oh wow.
What is that? Is that a 28?
28.
God, it's beautiful. Well, let's hear it. Don't pull it out like that. And not let me hear a little bit of that twang.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I got to jump off here. I got homework to do, believe it or not.
Oh,
no.
Man. Well, you know what you need to do? You need to come up. You need to come up on a stream, or Terry, take the podium here for a minute and promote your music stream that you do.
Oh yeah, I watched that. That's good.
That's
Music
that,
Mayhem.
No, is Conspiracy Music with Doc Danger. It's every Wednesday at 6 p.m. We've had 3, and I think we're gonna do 5 more before they stop doing it on my channel.
Awesome.
So if you'll come up on Wednesday, we'll get you on there.
I'm a little obsessed with watching Billy Strings videos right now. And
I told you.
I
I've been telling everybody, as soon as you get into him, and I'll tell you this, Tommy Emmanuel is probably my favorite guitar player right now ever, because I just love that guy's personality. I mean, he just seems so genuine. He is genuinely probably one of the finest musicians on planet Earth, and he's so humble that it's almost like he doesn't know it. It's like, dude, I hate to tell you this, but you're kind of like top 5 ever. I don't know if you knew this or not, but you're amazing. And if you watch some of his videos, like, are behind the backstage and stuff, and when he sits down there and he just like gets his guitar out, like he'll get the guy, somebody come up for an autograph, and he'll get their guitar out and start picking it, and he's just like, oh my gosh, the thing sounds so sweet. And he'll hand the guitar back to the person, or even handle one of his guitars and say, here, play this and try this out. And I'm thinking, man, if he handed me a guitar, I would probably shake so much, I'd be like, hey, I'm not playing in front of you.
Right.
No, so watching Billy Strings, it's like, oh God, this guy's phenomenal. And then it's also depressing because my fingers won't do that shit.
That's how I feel watching Tommy Emmanuel and Billy Strings. And there's a few more too. The guy that the Dawes guy, the guy that does all the percussive stuff on the acoustic too.
Yeah,
Mike Dawes or something like that. Just amazing. And there's several of them like that. Just absolutely just giants on what. And, it's like people hear me play and they're like, man, you play pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, well, to you, maybe you think I do, but I promise you, I'm not even Bush League when it comes to the big boys, but that's fine. I have fun with it anyway.
My favorite story about Stevie Ray Vaughan was
all-time favorite.
Yeah, is Eric Clapton. I saw an Eric Clapton video, and Eric said, he goes, I was driving and I heard this guitar player on the radio. Yeah. He said, I pulled over, called my agent, and said, who the fuck was that?
No shit. Can you imagine? Right. Can you imagine Eric Clapton saying that about you?
Exactly.
Right.
It's like when Eric Clapton says, damn, he can play.
Yeah.
That's enough to take note, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's something special, man. He was gone way before. And how many great musicians have we lost way before their time? Yeah. It's sad. Sad.
Oh, we just lost Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, I saw that.
The killer died. But I'll tell you what, you start looking into that guy. That's
married his little
he married his 13-year-old cousin, and then later on he married her sister.
Yeah. Well,
and
look at that.
Yeah, and he had 2 marriages that he got married, but they didn't count because he was still married to somebody else or some shit. It was he put the FUN in dysfunction. Yeah, absolutely.
Laura, like, what the hell? That's not even
no
fair.
Shit. Like, you don't even understand. Like, I mean, seriously, like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Let me tell you this. When I started playing music, I was a young man. I was just an early teen when I really got interested in it. By the time I was 16 years old, I was playing in a rock country type band. We've done a little bit of everything, but and Leonard Skinner was one of my I hate to say inspirations, but that's probably a fair term.
Sure.
So I kind of copied my playing after that. Well, as I progressed as a musician, and you kind of grow as a musician, because obviously music is art. So you kind of, I hate to say adapt, but you kind of become really what you're meant to be as you play more type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I got introduced to Stevie Ray Vaughan a little bit later. And when I did, I remember thinking, what the fuck? Like, how is that even possible? And then his tone is what hooked me. I love that crunch, that little bit of crunch that he has on that Strat. And I actually started getting so kind of obsessed with him that I actually started focusing on all of his gear that he was using. And here's a cool little music, little trivia thing for you. Did you know that it was very common when he needed a new amp, that he would send his techs out to as many different pawn shops or music shops or whatever in the town that he was, and they would get a bunch of different amps, and he would literally like line them up down the hallway of the hotels, and he would go through them, and he would set the ones aside, and he would strip them and take different things from each one of them, and basically build an amp out of it and say, okay, this is what I'm going to sound like. And his Strat had 13 gauge strings on it. I don't know if you knew that or not.
That thing was built out of 2 guitars.
Yeah, just such a man. He was just such a giant amongst men.
Oh yeah.
And you know, and that's how I feel about Tommy Emmanuel. And I've seen somebody say, yeah, he's Australian. Yeah, he certainly is. And I just love that guy's person. If I ever got a chance to sit down and meet him, that'd probably be my top 5 human beings I'd like to sit down and talk to, because he's such a good guy. He was actually playing music. He was playing music on the road at like under 10 years old.
That's insane.
I mean, you know, just those kind of stories, you know what I mean? Like, and just such a talented guy.
That's like Derek Trucks bullshit, you know?
Yes. Is that the slide player?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Is that not the best slide player you have ever heard in your life? Short of maybe Dwayne Allman, maybe in that type of category.
Well, Derek's uncle, you know, Derek played in the Allman Brothers. His uncle was Butch Trucks, the drummer.
Okay.
So he was raised with the Allman Brothers. And,
wow. Well, I watched him. Did you see that video of him with BB King and John Mayer? And he sat down there, and when that's another one of those situations when BB King looks at you and literally stops the music, and BB King looks at you and says, "That's the best I've ever heard." Wow. I would have been like, I'm done. I stop. I'm retired. I'm not ever going to touch it again, because I'm not going to take a chance on going backwards from just hearing what I just heard. That's the peak of anything. To hear BB King tell you you're the greatest soloist he'd ever heard at the moment, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Wonderful guitar player.
I love how these guys, you know, all the guys have their number 1 guitar, and that's actually what Vaughn called his number 1.
Yep.
But you know, the electric that Billy String plays all the time, his grandfather built while his grandfather was in prison.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now I know he plays those Thompson flat tops, which is it's basically like a really they're built off the Martin X brace, I believe. It's basically like a hand built D28 that's got a lot of extra, you know, little bells and whistles probably and stuff.
There's a good video with Billy and at the Thompson thing where they gave him the guitar and they went through.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty cool.
I like the fact that he's got do you listen to him much, Sovereign?
Not a whole lot.
Well,
I think was it you, Terry, that told me that I'd turned you on to the Billy String? Somebody told me that.
Yes, it was me.
I just guess I haven't listened to much of it, you know.
Don't do it late at night, because you'll be up all night. Yeah.
You'll get so fascinated because it's that rabbit hole that never stops.
Oh, cool.
He's a bluegrass. If you can imagine, bluegrass meets the Grateful Dead, and throw a little Stevie Ray all together, and that's Billy Strings.
Someone described it the other day as metal grass.
Okay. Metal.
I like it. I like that.
Yeah,
he's top notch, and he's a blazer too, man. He can fly on that fretboard. I mean, just absolutely unbelievable.
Hey, Gator.
Sir.
Hey, we're going to jump off here. We're out driving through town here, and I don't see any traffic, but I want to be able to jump on just in case and record if we see some. Okay, guys, that's Terry over at Iron Auditor. Make sure that if you're interested in checking out his stuff, he's going to be out, doing the auditing thing, and he'll be going live on his channel too. So check in over there with him too and show him some love. Terry's a good guy, and he's, in my opinion, he's one of the only ones that's really got it right.
Yep.
And I'm probably a little bit biased, but he handles himself like a gentleman and respectful, and still, documents what he sees and doesn't sugarcoat anything. It is what it is, and that's just the way he does it. And I appreciate and respect that.
He doesn't make the situation about himself.
Absolutely.
Just please don't convince them all I'm a gentleman, because when they meet me, they'll expect me to act that way.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have said that.
Hey, Terry, just remember, while you're live, I know exactly where you are at every moment.
Oh, yeah. I'm not working about it. Everybody knows where to find me anyway. Hell, everybody here knows exactly where I live.
Well, that's true.
I thought was hysterical about Chili because he's driving around Iron. He goes, people are stalking me. No, dude, I know where every fucking house in this town is.
Shit.
He doesn't realize that's how I found him. That's exactly how I found him. I looked in the background of his camera and drove straight into town and went right into where he was at.
Now he's on 3rd and Pleasant now. Boom.
Yeah. He's not exactly an intellectual giant, is he?
Not exactly.
Well, he thinks that if he puts everybody into a class, then that's a class action suit. And he's trying to use some kind of shit, RICO, that the feds tried in the 70s to bust on biker gangs. Well, if he'd read a little further, he'd have found out that they fucking failed, man.
You don't see that his class action suit will fail because he has no class, huh?
He don't have no brains. He don't have no brains. Oh, speaking of that, Mike, speaking of no brains, go over to our friend's channel if you get a chance, and check out the video she uploaded like 3 times. She does an impersonation of me.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't. Well, wait. She does an impersonation. She does an impersonation of me impersonating her.
I know. I saw.
And the funny thing is that nothing changed. I mean, like,
oh my God!
My ass.
I'll come up again.
Okay, I appreciate you coming up, Mike.
Sorry, buddy. Keep doing what you do, brother. Hey, Terry, be safe tonight, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Oh, that's funny. That is rich.
Hey, Sovereign, I love that video, by the way. That was a good one.
You like that?
I can't wait to get home and download that because I have no video of him so elated over me, and I can't wait to crop that out of there. Just like
because he thought that he took that off, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah. But luckily, we had one of our fast-fingered friends who screen captured it. And that's why you get to see the chat, and that's interesting too. To pause that and look at the chat because the shit you see people saying in there, it's like, oh wow. Not only is he a hateful idiot, look at the rest of these people. I got comments on that saying, I hope he gets put in a cell with somebody who beats his ass and all this other shit. And this was like 4 days after the reveal. And I was answering back to him, I'm like, well, you got trolled too, retard. Jesus.
Hey, Terry, look at that. Can you see the comment I put on the screen?
Yes, I can. Legicator asked Terry about the KY jelly run last night. Well, we was actually joking about that just a few minutes ago, actually, me and Eugene. He apparently calls Kentucky KY instead of calling it, and he's trying to make me realize that everybody calls Kentucky KY and not Kentucky. And I was like, no, I've never heard of such a thing. I've heard the jelly called KY, and I've heard the state called Kentucky. So there you go.
Oh my gosh.
But Legicator, I sure do appreciate you having me up here. And Sovereign, I love that video. And
buddy, you know you're always welcome.
Hello and goodbye to everybody out there in that chat. I'm sorry I'm on this phone and I'm unable to work the chat tonight like I usually do. So I can't even see who's in here tonight. But I appreciate y'all. Hello and goodbye, and everybody have a great night. And if we find something, you'll see it too. Y'all have yourself a good night.
All righty, buddy. You take care and be careful, and watch over my guys as they're out and about.
Absolutely, sir. Y'all have a good night.
See you guys.
Good night.
Oh yeah, that's rich stuff too, and the fact that and that's something too. Like it shows how bad of the potential narcissist that he is when he posts something like that and he immediately takes it down instead of just owning it. You know what I mean? Like, why not just own it and be like, look, I fucked up. But instead he like takes it down, like, oh, it never happened. It's like,
What then came on and said, oh, did that short. I'm so glad he's not in jail, It still had to call him names, I mean, it's like, wow. And then you see this other guy, he rubbed something in his eyes, generate tears or some shit. Either that or he got some bad news. That's and try to act like he's crying over this guy and so happy that somebody sent their last $5 so that they could help this guy. I'm like, shut up. just stop talking. Just take your moon pie face out of your camera for, like ever. That would be best. Yeah.
Yes, Peter, absolutely. Randy Rhodes was awesome. He was awesome back in the
Oh
day.
God, yes, Randy Rhodes or something. Have you ever seen that? He was this little Japanese boy. I believe he was Japanese, and he played this Flying V guitar, and he did Crazy Train. And
I think I have actually.
wow.
Yeah.
She actually, I think they had him on the Ellen show, and she brought Ozzy Osbourne on. The kid didn't know it. He started cranking out Crazy Train, and then Ozzy started singing it, and that kid was like, "Oh my God," And this Flying V was as long as he was tall. It looked really funny on him playing it, but he was really good, man. I don't know if
That's
I can
freaking awesome, man. And that's the thing too, is like, which that's another one of those things like Mike was talking about. Hell, it's almost depressing when you see some of these kids, and hell, they're not as big as the guitar, and they're shredding on there like, and I'm going, damn it.
Like some of these third grade Japanese music students are sitting there playing all kinds of Vivaldi on their violins and shit.
No
And
shit.
it's like, good God, I need to go have my diaper changed now. And they're, flawlessly playing this music.
After I get done shredding right here real fast, I'm going to go and learn how to drive.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
God.
damn it. Oh, my God. That's funny.
Feel like I missed the starting gun somewhere, huh?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I think I did. And I'm not even sure that I've ever made it to the starting gun yet. I mean, compared to the way those kids play. It's just crazy. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to do something. We've only got 30-some people here in the chat. I want to ask you guys something. I have a lot of people that'll email me through the week, and I try to get the emails, guys, and sometimes it's frustrating and it's overwhelming because I get a lot of them at the same time. And then I look back through them and I try to respond to the ones that I can, but then I get more and I lose sight or whatever. So I'm going to say, if anybody's got any questions for me right now, or I'm sure Sovereign would be happy to answer any questions or whatever that we got, feel free to put that in the side chat there, and I'll address anything or any comments or whatever that you'd like to make to me, completely off topic or whatever. We'll do what we can. I tend to kind of lose sight sometimes when I hang out with my panel, and I kind of get to where I go, oh man, I forgot to, answer that question that somebody sent me or something. So I'm just wanting to let you know, you got my undivided now in the chat. So if there's anything you want to say or ask to myself or Sovereign, I'm sure we'd be happy to be able to address it, whatever you got. Let's see. Somebody's learning guitar. I see. Nobody said it would hurt. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it hurts. It's. Well, I'll tell you. I still get. There's times, man, that I will play, and my fingers, when I don't play for a while, my fingers still hurt.
Well, mine are toughening right back up. Mine started toughening back up. This thing here.
Yeah.
I'm constantly with that thing. I was messing around with some track recording software today, so I'm seeing about putting some stuff together.
Wow, I hadn't heard that either. That see the comment there. Let's get Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, man. I'm
unfamiliar with that.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think I know what it is, but I might not. I may be thinking of something. There's been a lot of really high profile cases that are going on here recently, so I kind of lose.
Well, let's check the magical world of the internet. What is it? Delphi PHI.
Yeah, DLPHI.
All right, Delphi murders. Here we go. What do we got? Oh
yeah, the song "Hurt," the 9 Inch Nails. And I think Johnny Cash done a remake. I actually like the Johnny Cash version better myself. But serious question: would you ever? Let's see here. I see one that comes and says, "Serious question: would you ever be open to the idea that space is not real and those white things in the skies are not stars?" I know it sounds crazy, man. You know what? I've learned one thing for sure. Absolutes. The only way that I could ever say that I'm absolutely certain of something is to say that I'm absolutely certain that I don't absolutely know anything certain. Until if I can't go to space, I don't know. I mean, you just never know. I mean, I've heard a lot of different arguments on both sides that, the only thing that really throws me on some of it is, that, and I don't pretend that I know. And that's why, when guys like Sovereign and some of the other guys get on there and they have the debates over the flat earth versus the, the global beliefs and stuff, is I have never honestly put enough thought or energy into it to actually debate it or even investigate it myself. And I've heard both sides that leave me thinking, okay, maybe, I don't know. The only thing that gets me is like, I've done a little bit of long range shooting and stuff, and just because I've done long range shooting doesn't mean that I've done really well long range shooting, but I have done a little bit of long range shooting, and I know that there is some formula that actually has to take into equation that the rotation of the Earth when you start shooting out past a certain distance, because
Coriolis.
Yes.
Coriolis. And I can explain to why that's bullshit just by bringing up one example of another projectile that doesn't go nearly as fast as a bullet, and that's an airplane, and it never has to compensate for rotation or for the speed, the rotational velocity. As it would go north, rotational velocity would decrease, and the plane would have to compensate by going sideways somewhat in order to be able to keep up with what's going on with that rotation. But as far as what he was talking about, as far as stars, I can tell you that they are not giant balls of burning gas, billions of trillions of miles away, and you can somehow see them. That's ridiculous. They seem to appear to me a result of sonoluminescence. I mean, their patterns seem to be cymatic in nature, and they almost have a vibrational fluid quality about them. So I can go as far as to say I know that they're not giant burning balls of gas out in some void out there. That's kind of crazy that you would even be able to see that, if such distances even really exist. I mean, you can write anything on a piece of paper, but then again, putting it into fruition is a whole nother story altogether. So
this question here from Blanche says, what's the total amount you eat to keep your body weight? Well, that's the problem, is I eat like a horse right now because I haven't been training that hard and I'm getting lazy. So I'm not keeping body weight. I probably gained a few pounds. But when I was lifting really, really heavy, and I was actually like powerlifting and stuff, it was amazing the amount of calorie intake that I had to keep going, because I'm saying 5,000 plus a day to be able to actually to maintain muscle. And usually I could, at one time when I was lifting and working out really, really heavy, I could eat 3,000 to 3,500 calories a day, and I would drop weight like it was crazy. So that kind of gives you an idea. Obviously, the bigger the engine, the more gasoline it takes. So when you start dealing with guys that are my size, I'm 6'2", 260 plus, it takes a lot of calories to keep muscle mass going. So there have been times, and when I really, really cut, like, I mean, I can get down to low twos pretty easy too. And I'll sometimes there's times I'll only eat 1,300 to 1,500 calories a day and drink, a lot of water. So you just never, because I bounce back and forth depending on the type of training that I'm doing and stuff. But it's exhausting. And honestly, Brian Shaw, who's one of my gym heroes, 4-time world's strongest man, he's an American. And he said that the time in the gym is the easy part. Lifting heavy weights easy. That's not hard. The hardest part is the diet. It's eating the right things and enough of it to make sure you stay strong. I mean, that's the reality of it. It's really, that's where strength comes from. Strength comes from your meals and your water. And that's what I always struggled with. Either I was eating a lot of the wrong thing, or I was not eating enough of the right, and I was always kind of battling that. So, but it is what it is. If there's anybody else that's got anything, I'd be happy to try to address it, or Sovereign, because I can promise you that I'll give you the best answer I can on stuff. I seen where somebody said they sent me a video, but I had not received any videos recently, and I apologize for that. Sometimes too on my Yahoo Mail, it pisses me off because some people will send me stuff, and I'm like, I never got that. I don't know why. I've looked everywhere, looked in junk mail and the spam and everything. And it's just never there. So I don't know what's up with that. Let's see. I guess we've opened up a can of worms in the chat.
Sorry, I just had to put that in there. I see people saying that the planes have to adjust. They don't have to adjust ever. And it would be a different adjustment and factor reading depending on the direction that the plane or bullet was going. People aren't understanding RPMs is not rotational velocity, and it decreases the closer you get to the center of rotation. The rotational velocity increases as you increase the diameter of the rotation, although the RPMs remain the same. So if you have a disc and it were spinning, that means the outside of that is going much, much faster exponentially than areas toward the middle of where the rotation is at. That's why the centrifugal force is always the strongest on the edge of a merry-go-round.
Huh. And once again,
that's right, Sundown. That's right, Sundown. Even if I am right, if you listen carefully to what I said as they appear to me, but I do know that they are not balls of gas burning in a vacuum. First off, that's stupid. Fire in a vacuum is dumb. Secondly, you can't prove that they are. In fact, that's a ridiculous assumption that they're a ball of burning gas light years away. I'm just going to give everybody an idea of how far a light year really is. The sun, supposedly at 93 million miles, is about 8.5 light minutes away. Now, just figure about how far that would be if it were 1 light hour. You seeing where I'm going with this? Now, how many hours are there in a year? That's how far you would have to be able to see that light. Light does not travel infinitum. It is dependent on the amount of energy that is producing the light, is how far it will go. This is why your high beams see farther than your regular beams. It's pretty well elementary. You increase the amount of power behind the light, and you increase the amount of distance you get from the light. It's that simple. Not going to go millions and millions of miles and never stop. That's dumb.
Peter, as far as the video, I haven't seen that. That sounds terrible. Without seeing it, I would think that, and once again, I'm not trying to justify, but based on what my experience is, there's probably something else to it, but I don't know that.
I had that actually happen to my son in California. We lived in a pretty remote area of on the edge of the Mojave Desert, and he worked about 4.5 miles from the house, and he got lit up coming down dark ass 395 almost to the house, and he maintained the right speed limit and went down the road and pulled into our driveway. And when he stopped, that cop jumped out. I mean, the plate, should have come back, that, oh, he's at this address. Okay, he's at his house. And he stayed in his car, put his hands right up on the steering wheel. This fucker jumps out and pulls his gun on him. I didn't know what was going on. I was in the house. I look out the window. I see the lights flashing. I come outside and I see this guy with a gun held up on my son while he's sitting in the car. Oh. And I looked and I said, who the hell are you going to shoot there, Rambo? Stow that weapon. What are you doing? And he goes, Go back into your house. I'm like, fuck you. This is my yard. What are you doing? And we had this huge confrontation with those people out there that night. We was pulling him over for a suspended license. We're going to shoot somebody over a fucking piece of paper in their pocket. Are you kidding me? Well, I took care of his ass. He ended up being a bailiff.
Yeah, it sounds like he probably something wasn't right with that. Rebecca Joe says that she's seen that video, felt the cop was a little over the top. Believe the cop felt she was trying to flee, but she wasn't. She was just scared and wanted to be in a well-lit area.
Yeah, you can buy those lights, man. You could put lights on your shit and don't even have to be shaped like a cop car. You're going down a dark road, you pull up behind somebody and flash them lights. They're coming over to the side of the road and going to wait for you to come up to the window. It's an oldest trick in the book.
Right. Well, and I can tell you this too, generally speaking, and I've said this a lot of times. If you guys have ever looked back on my videos, I always use the word reasonable to describe anything that our actions are. You know, if in my experience, if you act reasonable, then you don't have to worry so much. But when you don't act reasonable, that's where you kind of fall into place. I don't know whether the officer was reasonable or whether the person was reasonable. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but it sounds obviously like somebody in the equation there wasn't. So it's terrible that kind of stuff happens, but I'm absolutely certain that it does. Let's see. Turn that down. Well, have a good night, Renee. Thank you for hanging out with us. Yeah, and that's the thing, guys, is, I will always, and I've had people tell me too, on different streams or whatever, they'll say, well, can't you just give me your opinion on this? Well, you have to realize that my opinion doesn't make it fact, first of all. And secondly, I base my opinion on totality as best possible. And without having a view of totality, there's no way I can come to a true opinion. Everybody wants to say that we are quick to jump to the negative side of things when we're doing investigations, but then anytime we don't jump in line with somebody's agenda, then they tell us that we're just trying to not have an opinion. Well, that's not the case. We're looking at things all the way back and saying, okay, this is the way that is. So, Arch, actually, I'm getting ready to wind it down, buddy. So just hang tight and we'll just try it next Friday night, because I actually we're hitting at 1:30, and I'm gonna go do some shooting tomorrow morning too. For the record, I'm gonna go shoot that flintlock, Sovereign.
Cool.
Well,
get some video of that. I was astonished when we went to Yorktown. They wanted to charge you $70 to fire one.
What?
Yeah, man. You didn't even load it or nothing. They load it up for you. You just stand there like a mannequin, hold the damn thing, and then you get to shoot it. $70. I was like, are you shitting me? I used to shoot those things for fun, man. Are you pay you $70?
No, I did just because I put the flint in it tonight. I just got it in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
And I put the flint in it, and I put just a touch of powder in the flash pan just to show the boys, when I got home from work, in the dark, went out on the porch and just hit the frizzen and ignite the powder. And they're just like, that's too cool.
Yeah, man. You've heard the term of like a band will come out and they got like a big hit song, and they call them a flash in the pan because they never do anything else. That's where that comes from, because sometimes the spark doesn't jump into the hole.
Right.
All you're left with is just a flash in the pan. And so you're waiting for that boom and nothing happens. And that's where that term comes from.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, unlike the old term, lock, stock, and barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that come from those old side locks too.
Going off half cocked.
Yep. Half cocked. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Austin says, would you rather work for a larger agency in a larger town or satisfied with where you are? I have tough questions. Here's the thing, and I'm going to hit somebody with something that they may or may not have thought, and I'm probably here. The truth of it is, let me tell you this. I know, and I've had some buddies that have worked for the big cities, Columbus and, Cincinnati and such. And I can tell you, they look at us like we're crazy, because when you're in an agency like that, they have all kinds of help, and you have just an absolute, probably a portion of the overall duties that we do, because, you know, when we have a major crime in the city of Ironton, we are everything. We have to do everything because we don't have the fact of having an individual crime unit out and a traffic unit to come and shut everything down and the air units to do this and this and this and so on. So I don't have any of that. I got me, and I got a couple guys that work with me, and we do all that. So we probably actually do more call per call than what the big cities do and stuff, and probably handle overall as many calls per officer a year as the big cities do, because we don't have as many officers to handle those calls. So it's more exhausting probably working at a town the size of Ironton or here in the tri-state area than it is to actually work, you know, for one of the big cities. But now, hell, I'm 43 years old. I'm a captain. I've got 16 years in. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm done with all that.
It's more compartmentalized in the bigger outfits too. That's like what you're saying. You got one guy does this job, one guy does this other thing, and there's, I think, probably more chance for screw up that way, as far as I could see. Anytime you have more hands, too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Right. Heat Shield says that's about as long as it takes to load up a flintlock, so that it really isn't that badass to say I'm going to go shoot a flintlock tomorrow. I'm like, well, yeah, no, I agree, but you know, honestly, I just if you guys haven't subbed to my second channel, you know, if you're a Pro 2A, if you're a gun guy, if you like the training / tactical / self-defense / guns, Pro 2A, red, white, and blue, you know, shitting out stars and stripes and bald eagles, you know, fucking up communism, you know, whatever. But if you're into that type of stuff, check out my second channel. You know, and please consider liking and subscribing. I do, it's going to be a lot more gun stuff. I just started it, so I'm just kind of getting off the ground, but, it's definitely different than this one. But shooting the flintlock's going to be new to me, because I'm going to try to, actually get to harvest a deer with it. That's my goal anyway. I've never killed a deer with a black powder gun at all, with any muzzleloader, but I've certainly never killed one with that primitive of one. This will be my first, so I think it'll be a lot of fun. Sundown says, watching Terry's last couple of nights, how do you stay awake and patrolling? Well, sometimes it gets tough, you know. That's misleading, you know, because there are some nights, you know, we run our asses off, but I don't work midnights anymore anyway. And on the evenings, I can promise you it ain't like that. We run our asses off in the evenings. And a lot of times too, midnights are like that too. I think Terry's just kind of went through a little dry spell. So you just never know what's going on. So, and just for the record, I want you guys to realize that Terry's looking for traffic stops. And he's looking for the red and blues. Just because we're not out stopping cars, that's not what we do. You know, that's a very small portion of what we do. We are peace officers. We run criminal calls. We run domestic violence, thefts, vandalisms, that type of stuff like that. That those guys, when you're not seeing them out on stops, it's because they're probably at somebody's house taking a report. Or
people stuffing their grandfather under a porch.
Yeah,
you know,
God,
that kind of shit.
What a terrible thing. What a terrible
I'll tell you, that made the news here.
Yeah, I could see that because of the nature.
It did. It was Leanne. It came up on our WHSV, which is out of Harrisonburg, which is where Rockingham is at. That's where Terry was supposedly fake arrested at. And she sent that to me on the phone. Said, "Did you see this?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Look where it happened." I said, "Yeah, I know all about it because I'd seen your release on the Ironton Police Department Facebook page."
Yeah, if one of my mods, real fast, if one of my mods will share my link to my other channel, that would be great. It's actually Captain Chad, the Legicator channel. So, but if you'd look it up, I'd appreciate it. Share the link for me. I see some people actually asking. I had to order, Sovereign. I don't know if you realize this, how hard it is to get black powder right now.
Oh wait, did you know there's a guy named, there you are. Did you know there's another guy on here named Captain Chad that he does virtual airplanes?
Huh. Cool.
Anyway.
No Face says the fact that cops support Trump works against cops. I don't really, everybody's got their opinions. I don't really know, man. I mean, I guess, the truth is I've seen a lot of good and bad on both sides, pro police and then anti police on both sides. Only thing I know is the Constitution has never changed. So, oh, there's Aaron Queen. Love his little heart. Listen, we've got 30 in the chat right now. Will somebody please give Aaron a hug?
Aaron, I'm giving you a big old hug from right here. You know what? Aaron is going to end up being a flat earther.
Is that right? You're convinced?
Yeah. I've planted the seed in his head to the point where he comes on my chat all the time, even though he disagrees with all the material. And that tells me that he does me
too. He does me too. He loves to come on and watch me so he can hate me.
Well, see, it's not just that. There's a splinter in his brain that is irritating the shit out of him because he knows there's something wrong. There's something wrong.
What, Sovereign? I'll bet down deep he's got a big thin blue line boner too. I'll bet he's probably down deep. He's probably my biggest fan.
You got that right.
Well, yep. Love his little heart.
Peter, I'm looking at that email right now. I'm pulling up the link to see what it's about. I'm getting ready to go there right now. There. Oh, I always forget to hit that paste and go. I hit paste and then I got to go back and hit the enter, and sometimes I fuck it all up. And it's some kind of a police chase.
Stop! A pregnant woman is ordered to pull over on a.
Oh, this is the body cam he was talking about. Of the
Thank you, spaced out.
What's the matter?
It's spaced out. Said just subscribe to the other channel. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. This is let me see if I can put that over. This is the video they were talking about the pulling the gun on the pregnant lady.
Okay. Well, we can share that really quickly, and then I'm gonna hop off here and go cuddle with that little beautiful blondie.
I don't blame you. So she's got a little thing where she can come on now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's got her own account on YouTube, but she don't really get into it. So I try to get her to come up occasionally, but she's not so much into it.
Well, she ain't hiding as much as she used to. I noticed that. She's
growing into it.
Yeah, she will.
It's harrowing traffic stop. A pregnant woman is ordered to pull over on a dark rural road.
Pull the vehicle over, I will put you into the ground.
The deputy sheriff says he caught her speeding. He gets on his loudspeaker, furious that she is not pulling over right away.
Stop the vehicle! Where's that?
The woman slows down and drives for 1 mile with her hazard lights on until she reaches a well-lighted gas station to pull into.
Get out the vehicle right now! Get out the vehicle right now! I want to see your hand!
She cooperates, but the angry deputy seems to lose it.
You make any move, man! That'll be your license that you're gonna make!
He handcuffs the woman as she explains she waited to pull over until she thought it was safe.
I'm pregnant. I'm 4 months pregnant.
Inside her vehicle are her 3 children. Her 11-year-old is in tears.
I don't care about why. Just shut up.
I spoke with Mom Ebony Washington, who was driving in Brantford County, Florida, when she was pulled over. You're pregnant and your kids were in the car, and just the terror of that.
I was nervous myself and my children, and but the part where I felt really nervous about my unborn child was when he walked up to me with the gun, and when he put the handcuffs on me and jerked me around.
The deputy sheriff, Jason Deshu, has now resigned. His boss, Sheriff Gordon Smith, says his officer was clearly in the wrong.
This young lady did everything you would expect, everything that I would hope that my wife or my daughter or if my neighbor would do.
So, would you know what to do if you were pulled over on a dark, secluded road? I spoke with security expert Bill Stanton. You're getting pulled over. What do you do first? What do you do?
Put your hazards on, lower your rate of speed, look for a safe place to pull over. Once you pull over, lower all your windows, put your hand on the side door.
Just like the pregnant driver did. If you're on a dark road, you're scared. Can can you wait until you get to a place where you're more comfortable to then pull over?
Pulling to a place of safety is never a wrong thing to do. It puts yourself and the officer involved in a safer place. I don't care about why. Just shut up.
Wow.
Yeah, he's definitely a dick.
Yeah, I would say, man. Good.
I mean, I don't know, obviously, the complete totality of it, but I do know that he's a dick. I can tick that up real fast.
That's how that cop was on my son. And it was like, what the hell? He says, he said, that road's dark. He said, I didn't know who you are. He says, there's all kinds of crazy people out here. And there is, you got a lot of tweakers in the desert.
Sure.
And, yeah, so it's like you can get any of that shit on, Amazon. You could look at who's that guy that was going around being a cop that wasn't a cop. What was his name? Jeremy DeWitt? Wasn't that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he was doing that shit for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a space cadet anyway.
But I mean, so that's just one. That's one they've caught. I'm
a little bit upset that Aaron Queen's more interested in down and flat earthers than he is taking shots at me, because normally he's really, really on me. I'm assuming this is the same account. I don't know. But normally he's really likes to take shots at me. And if he's become more of an anti-sovereign fan than he has an anti-legislator fan, I'm going to be mad.
I would imagine. Well, as far as having brain damage, you've already displayed you have that, bro.
Crypto crackhead, what's up?
Oh, there's Crypto. There's my guy.
Okay. They're talking. Crypto's talking to you. Sovereign.
What's that? Oh, hey guys, I was just watching Terry saying, David, give me a call, please, after you're done with this stream. Yeah, I agree. We need to help. That's some bullshit, her losing that job. Listen, this guy, what a terrorist. Did you see him going off about Arizona Jeep girl?
Tell me about it. And how?
Oh my God. Apparently she hurt his delicate little feelings, and he dedicated an entire stream to wanting people to find out who she was and get her bar number, because he's going to try to get her disbarred from the Arizona State Bar. And because she hurt his feelings.
Oh, well,
and
real fast.
About she lost a job at a dog pound or some kind of thing.
Real fast, Sovereign. I hate to tell you, buddy, but I beat you. Aaron hates me more. So
okay, well, I don't know. I think he just has a lot of hate and he doesn't know where to put it. Right. He doesn't know what to do with it. My guess is that if he almost acts like a henpecked husband,
Okay.
Where they want to take that out on other people because they are bossed around by their wife or their girlfriend.
So not a lot of masculinity.
Mom. No. It's very, very effeminate trait to behave that way.
Okay.
That's all right. Maybe he keep watching us. He'll learn how to man up a little bit. Lead by example.
Well, Peter, just for the record, I don't think you're anti-legislator. I said that Aaron is, and Aaron secretly, honestly, Aaron loves me. To be honest, Aaron actually he's got a shirt that says "I heart Legislator," and he's actually going to get the Legislator emblem tattooed.
Well, here's a simple question for Aaron. Okay. Now, the reality of it is, whether you like it or not, we do have police. And they do have a job. Okay. And that I know you don't necessarily agree with the things they enforce. And you know what? I'm right there with you.
And sometimes, shocker, sometimes neither do I.
So here's the reality of it. Wouldn't you rather have somebody like Chad in doing that job, or somebody like the guy in that video we just saw? See what I'm saying? If you got to have them, have good ones. So that's where I stand with it. Maybe you ought to stop. It'd be like if I'd gotten, oh my God, let's say I'd gotten beat up by a German, when I was stationed over there, and that would be like for me to just automatically, no, I hate all Germans. All Germans are brutal and mean and shit like that. You know,
Well,
it's just dumb.
he says he's an anti-statist.
Mhm.
So I guess he's probably, well, he doesn't want to call himself an anarchist. I don't think he's going to go there.
Well, that's because a lot of people, they misinterpret that term. It doesn't mean chaos.
Yeah,
It merely means
without
masters.
structure, without leadership, or something like
without masters.
Yeah,
basically.
I couldn't remember the actual definition, but I knew it was.
It doesn't mean no rules. Voluntarists, if you prefer, they believe all actions should be voluntary.
And I agree with that. I agree with that if we really were a people of virtue, but we're not. And the reality is,
we have some shitheels. Yeah.
Yeah, and the problem is, you know, Aaron, you might be able to defend yourself and your family, but there's some people that can't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where guys like me come in. And now I know I'm going to get your cute little comment.
Aaron.
Oh, he
don't
said
wear
no
out
such thing as a good cop. He means there's great cops.
He said Nazis had a job. Well, first off, I think you need to go back and restudy history, because you've been fed a real huge line of horse shit when it comes to that.
Okay,
so
he
it's not a good analogy.
He is calling himself a volunteerist.
Okay.
Okay, and that's perfectly fine. So I don't have to worry about enforcing laws on you. However, do I have to worry about enforcing laws on somebody who would try to take advantage of somebody that you love?
Right. Well, I guess the difference would be the enforcement of codes versus the enforcement of law.
Sure.
Because law is immutable. Man can't create law. We have statutes and dictations that are put in place. We call it legislation. And often we find that it legislatively or legal does not necessarily mean lawful. You understand? For instance, in 1861, it was legal for me to own another human being, but that was unlawful because natural law says that that's not cool, right? But legislature said that it was legal despite what was lawful.
But that's where, in theory, that we're supposed to have our Supreme Court to actually be able to interfere with stuff like that. But a lot of times we don't have that luxury either.
No, I mean, the Supreme Court, I mean, wow. In theory, what a great idea, but it's never been anything in practice, because if you really look back at the history of the Supreme Court, they have really been on the wrong side of many, many issues. You can go all the way back to Dred Scott decision. That was, that was your Supreme Court. Unfortunately, it's become appointed positions granted by favor rather than by what it was supposed to be, by a well-learned justice, not a judge, a justice. And that's why they're called justices. But they come from the uniform commercial code court system, the Admiralty court system, and they're there to interpret the Constitution. And those two just don't seem to work exactly together as they should. So there again.
Whoa. You value justice based on whose definition of justice? So let me ask you this. I understand that you're opposed to statism. So I'm asking you this. Who is going to maintain justice in your system? Because I get it. You may be able to defend your keep. You might be able to defend your family. You might be able to make sure that nobody ever steals your shit or tears up your shit or hurts your family. But not everybody has that luxury. So how can we guarantee those people to be able to share the same freedoms of our constitutional republic?
Yeah, that's why I think the idea of a sheriff, yes, absolutely, a sheriff and deputies, a limited number of deputies. And then if there is something big comes on, you've got trusted men within the community that you can deputize, that know how to use firearms, that have the firearms, that have the training, and they can come to the aid right there. The problem I see is that the more police they put on, because people think that police are actually proactive, when in reality, and you can attest to this, that it's reactive.
Oh,
There was no police there to protect grandpa when the grandson killed him.
It's almost impossible to be
Right.
completely proactive. It's just almost
Absolutely.
humanly impossible.
That's why
Because
you
the
have
truth
to
of
be
it is
as
this.
proactive yourself as you possibly can be.
The reason that I even say that is because by even design, our constitutional republic guarantees more freedom than it does. I can't just automatically assume if in a real status environment, I could just stop anybody I wanted to, and I could probably be really proactive and just say, "Oh no, fuck you! I think you're going to break into something. Your fucking ass is doing whatever." But in our system, I can't do that. So what I can do is I can be there for when your grandmother or whoever needs me, and I'll do the best that I can to go make sure that she does see justice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's
I'm not
the whole of a volunteerist idea. It does take absolutely a different mindset, and it really could be achieved because there is an illusion out there. And
okay, so let me just say this, Aaron, real fast. In poor little dumbass layman policeman terms, tell me who guarantees the safety and liberty of people who can't do it themselves? Who is it? Who guarantees that this little old lady that's down the street has the same freedom as you and I in this beautiful nation?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we can't guarantee virtue of individuals, if we can't guarantee that I'm going to behave or you're going to behave or the next guy's going to behave, if we can't guarantee that, and there's an asshole in the crew, how do we guarantee that if that asshole does the asshole type thing, that he's going to face justice? I'm really curious about that. Because I can tell you this, it's not going to be the random guys that are kind of come and chase somebody down and say, "Oh, well, I think he stole somebody," because believe it or not, most crimes go very undetected without investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we come in.
Well, if you look at it, what many people are really angry about when it comes to police is the fact that, now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of asshole cops. I've run across my share of them, trust me. But you also got to take into account that they are charged with the duties of enforcing the statutes, the codes, that's their job. Now, is it their fault? Is it the police's fault that there are these codes and statutes? Nope. Is it the politicians' fault that there's these codes and statutes? Nope. You want to know whose fault it is? Yours. Okay? Because you either failed to do anything to stop it from being put into legislation, or you were behind it. Because after all, isn't that how we're supposed to work, right? That's how this government and everything is supposed to work. It's the
Right.
voters, right? So I don't vote because I think it's immoral to impose my will upon people that don't wish it. So that being said, those that voted, this is your fault. Yes, yours, and yours alone. It's not my fault because I didn't vote for it. You did. Okay.
Okay. Real fast, Aaron, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. If you will send me that link in my email, because I won't remember it, at Leducator at Yahoo, I will watch what you're talking about. That's the fairest I can be. I still don't think there's going to be any differences between a competing defense rights organization and private sector as there is in the public sector.
Right.
Because ultimately you're still asking them to be in the defense of somebody else, which is going to upset somebody. That's just the truth.
Right.
That's just it.
Well, you also, though, you have to look at it this way too. I can understand this as that when it is a government driven thing, though, you end up with some poorer quality people in the organizations merely because they have to overlook various things because of fairness. I try to tell people there is no such thing as fair. Fair is an elusive concept. If you try to make everything fair, well, that's not fair. So it is an elusive concept. And you run into this where you've got people that, oh, we have to have so many women. Well, what if you don't have enough women that are good enough that apply? Well, we still have to have women. So they go ahead and they hire them. I'm not saying all women are bad or anything like that before anybody gets their panties in a bundle about it. I'm just using it as an example. And so because this is the way our government works, we end up with inept people in positions where they don't belong, like the DMV. I'm sure we've all had our experiences there. And you see what happens with that kind of thing. Whereas in a private sector, you are going to have the best because they're in competition with another organization. Well, now we run into the risk of the competition between these various private agencies that takes place. And we see a lot of that took place in the 1800s with the fire crews. They were all fire companies. They were fire companies. And we see where they would actually prevent some other outfit getting to a fire so that they could get there, sabotage the other company and, so they could be the big star. And you run into that kind of a problem too. So yeah, you got to have some kind of structure, but it does definitely take a different mindset and a different way of thinking. It kind of based off the golden rule. If you don't want that done to you, don't do it to somebody else. But it starts with the way we bring people up. And like we were talking earlier, there's nobody home. Nobody's home. Kids are at the after school places and going to daycare. Now they've lowered the school age to where they got into preschool and shit. I mean, it's like, holy cow, man, they're never at home. They're being raised by strangers constantly, and I think that's one of the reasons that they're not being, and because of their, again, government restrictions, morals can't be enforced on these kids because it's through a government agency. All the morals and teachings that would in the past take place in the home are no longer there. And so now instead we're having to write a book report on Billy's two dads. I don't know. I don't know. The future sucks, Chad.
It's scary.
I thought it was going to be cool. I thought we were going to have
to be so bright you got to wear shades.
Oh man, I thought we were going to have flying cars and all kinds of cool shit. No.
Lies. All lies.
Oh my God. Instead, it just got more stupid. I want to go back,
Well, listen, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Sovereign, since you're the last panel member I got, I'll give you a last word before we close it down.
All right. Well, as I always say on my channel, mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. And with that being said, remember, the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey, and see a doctor and get rid of it.
That's right. Try antibiotics first. Well, listen, guys, I appreciate all you guys hanging out with us tonight. I know tonight was a little different. I just wanted to hang out with everybody. Like I said, I've had a hectic week. So, hopefully these Freedom Fridays will keep going on and we can do more and more stuff directly about the freedoms. But sometimes it's just cool to hang out with everybody too. So that was a lot of fun. Man. But I definitely appreciate all you guys. Like I said, I ask if you guys do consider being involved in the Pro 2A type stuff. Check out my other channel. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to do more and more gun type stuff, training type stuff. I think you enjoy it if you're into that type of stuff. But if you don't mind, consider leaving me a like on the video. And always keep your eye peeled for more content coming from myself, from Sovereign, from Uncle Arty. I told you guys he's got the new channel up. Don't forget to go over and check out Uncle Arty. He's hilarious, guys. He's awesome. Obviously, in my opinion, I think Terry Ironton Auditor is the only auditor there is. I think he's the one that's got it right, and I wish that the others would kind of follow suit. Make sure you check out Ironton Auditor. And guys, I'm going to tell you, this is going to keep going, and we're going to keep doing more and more stuff. If we can make a change in somebody's life, it doesn't matter what the profession is. It doesn't matter. We don't have to have anything other than just a smile on our face and a handshake to be nice to somebody and maybe change their entire day. Remember that. I really do appreciate all you guys. Everybody drop me a TTU in respect of what we got going on here with everybody. with Team Skeptic and such. And out of honor of Team Skeptic, drop me a TTU before we go. But I appreciate you guys. God bless you guys. You guys are so awesome. You guys mean more than you'll ever know. I can promise you that. And I'm learning as I go too. And I promise that I will continue to keep my mind open like a parachute so that I can always be fair and straight up with you guys the best I can. We will be back at it. Like I said, I'm going to shoot a little bit tomorrow and probably get some kind of video up. I may end up doing another live stream for the weekend side. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. If we do, we'll see if we can get Sovereign and Terry back up again, see what everybody's schedules are like. So,
Right on.
But we appreciate you guys. Love you guys. We mean that. Stay focused, stay driven, stay blessed. Be somebody's corner man always. Look for the opportunity to pat somebody on the back, love on them, give them a positive message, whatever it takes to get them through the day. Everybody's struggling. Not all fights are physical. Some are mental, some are emotional, some are spiritual. We got the opportunity to maybe help them be their corner man. Stay focused, stay driven, stay blessed. And as always, if you train like you fight, you'll fight like you train. See you guys.